Russ Martin Show.
Hello.
What are you doing?
Working.
How come you don't buy nothing?
I do buy stuff. I just don't ask you for money back or reimbursement.
Well, what stuff have you bought? What have you bought that I don't know about?
Other groceries.
What groceries?
Stuff that you need for, like, your hair, your toiletry stuff.
Why would you buy that and not ask me to pay you back? You ask me to pay you back for everything.
Well, no, I do not. I try not to do it all the time, but I don't.
All I know is every Monday, every Monday, you come into my office while I'm sitting in there, and you got a check pre-filled out. You just ask me to sign it.
Well, because you eat like a horse, so there's a lot of food that you go through.
And she does your grocery shopping?
Yeah.
Well, obviously, that's why we got into this fight.
There's a value to that.
Not if she keeps buying stuff I'm not supposed to have.
Well, she has to eat also.
Okay.
Last time I got
let me ask you that. How did you feed yourself before we started dating?
I didn't eat.
You didn't eat at all?
No.
Jenny, you're out. She's perfect for him.
I love this day. Can we stay on till 9?
Seriously, how did you feed yourself before we started dating?
I didn't really eat that much. Everything that I did, I got so I could bring it to work with me. Mm-hmm. Just like now, I don't.
So now all of a sudden you move in with me, and I'm Bonanza.
Do I eat that much?
Yeah.
She goes, I looked in the fridge this morning. It's packed with all kinds of stuff. I don't know what this is. I don't even know why it's in there. And she always makes sure she comes home with the little, what is that, the swimming penguin wine that you buy?
It's called the Little Penguin.
Yeah, little swimming penguin.
So?
Well, she keeps, what, I got to buy her alcohol?
I don't know.
She already lets me screw her.
No. Did you buy the yogurt yesterday? No.
I don't know that I buy the yogurt. What was the yogurt doing in there?
That I got yesterday?
Yeah.
Because the yogurt I got for myself that I was going to
I told you I didn't want the yogurt in the house.
Okay, so I'll just eat whatever you want to eat, so you don't have to worry about being tempted by my food choices.
Exactly.
Okay. Isn't that something called, like, discipline or self-control?
I have discipline and self-control. Give me the bottle. I have discipline and self-control.
A 10-year-old boy was found dead hanging from a tree, apparently killed while trying to play the game, the pass-out game in Boise, Idaho.
Sounds like he won.
Dalton Ebby, maybe this.
They can make me do it.
I'm marking that down.
Not for the promo. Hi, Priscilla.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you went off the air a while ago, and I didn't hear JD's secret.
How about that?
I want to hear it again, please, because I'm blind and disabled, and I've been waiting to hear it. And I want to tell you thank you.
Well, there's no chance of you protesting.
God, Russell, what in the hell is in you? My God. Head is spinning. I can't believe you just said that to that woman.
It's Alexa Pro.
It's a promo.
Oh, hang on a second. Gavin, tell him your new nickname for yourself. Listen to this.
Okay.
Oh, dictionary.
Okay. What does that mean?
Dan, go ahead, grab a hold of your console in there. Go ahead, Gavin, tell him.
They call me dictionary because of all the new definitions in my body.
Oh, God.
Yeah, see?
Oh, man.
I'm pretty ripped right now.
Stop drinking.
I walked by his office. He did that pose thing. He goes, check out the dictionary. What? Check out these definitions.
The Russ Martin Show.
What does it say?
It just says Russ and crew. I've heard you guys make fun of just about everything over the years, but when you made fun of Kanye West's mom being dead, I really think you went too far. The total lack of sensitivity was appalling.
We weren't making fun of his mom, we were making fun of him.
They included his mom in it, though.
He's the one that brought his mom into it, and he went over by a minute and a half for the Grammys, and then decided he was going to throw his mama in, knowing that they probably wouldn't cut him off. So he could tell us how we as fans are proud of him, and how we as fans, thank you for telling me these things, want him to be number one. And I'm doing these things for my mama.
You're right.
And actually Vince Gill started it.
Vince Gill didn't start it.
Yeah, he did.
He started us on it.
Well, that's true.
What cut was Vince Gill?
Oh, over here? Vince Gill is...
Well, who the fuck do you think I'm talking to? And I didn't say the whole word, by the way.
I made it the promo, so I thought you were going to play the promo. 18. I thought maybe you had Dan pull audio from the whole show, because the last 5 minutes was nothing but Kanye this, Kanye that.
I didn't tell Dan to do anything.
Okay, I didn't know that. I thought the audio you were looking for.
I did pull some of that, though.
Oh, last night?
Yeah. Chloe's got it right over there.
Is it funny?
Yeah.
In a real sick way.
You're on there as well, buddy.
Oh.
Is the Vince Gill audio on this?
Yes, it is. I think track 1 starts with it.
Oh, all right. I'll play it from here. All right.
I love that moment. 20.
Did I miss it?
No, you're about to
And the
play.
Grammy goes to...
These days, Vince Gill.
Vince Gill. I just got an award given to me by a Beatle. Have you had that happen yet, Kanye?
The biggest reason that's funny is because Kanye is just such an egotistical dick when it comes to anything.
That's in itself.
I was used. Now, where's the original audio of Kanye when it came up to accept?
That will be 17.
Okay, I like to hear that.
Kanye.
Graduation.
Yeah.
It definitely feels good to be home here at the Grammys. You know, we snuck in about 4 or 5 years ago, and now we basically made this our new place of residence. And
See, so right now, it's all about him.
Yes.
You know you got a minute. You know other people got to get up there. You know there's a timeline for everybody.
On TV.
And if your mom is that important, you don't wait till the very end, knowing that they're going to cut your ass off.
Right, you lead with that. And that's touching anyway.
And nobody's going to feel like they got short-sheeted because he talked about his mama and didn't thank his producer, writer, record company, or anybody else.
We snuck in. Now it's our home.
when working on a hip-hop album in a state, you know, with the music game, they say, like, you know, you can't sell records, or a lot of people say hip-hop is dead, not just Nas, but, you know, a lot of...
He just took this as his time to be on his soapbox.
About hip-hop.
I should have been here. What he's saying is, I should have been here a long time ago. And I'm going to tell you now, but I've been waiting 4 years.
Why we're going to be here for a long time.
People just said, like, the art form wasn't popping like that anymore. You know, I want to...
Thank you. Thank you. That's what this is for. It's to come up and say, thank you. He ain't said thank you.
No. It's a political speech at this point.
He's telling me the entire state of music and why he's here. Instead of that thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to cross the genres and show people, you know, how we can still express ourselves with something fresh and new, and that's what hip-hop has always been about, you know, coming out with new sounds and stuff. So I always told Common, like, man, you got to time the album out better. You can't drop them the same year as me, man. You got to, this is my award. I want to, and for Mark Ronson and Amy Winehouse. Thank you. Come on. You going to play music on me? For Mark Ronson, I'm Amy Winehouse.
So far, he's, according to this disc, almost a minute 20 in. You're 20 seconds over.
You're done.
And he doesn't even jump on his mama's thing until, I think, another half minute.
I think he does that also just to make him turn the music off. Because he's starting to thank everybody and then kind of jumps to the mama thing.
Winehouse, if I don't get up here for Album of the Year, you deserve it just as much as me. I deserve it too.
Minute and a half, I don't think he said thank you to anybody. Once.
No.
And just to say something about my mother, I appreciate all the support. I appreciate all the prayers. It would be in good taste to stop the music then. I appreciate... everything. Proud of me right now, and I know you wouldn't want me to stop, and you want me to be the #1 artist in the world. And Mama, all I'm gonna do is keep making you proud. We run this.
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
So, it's like I said yesterday. I feel bad that his mama died.
Of course.
But don't sit there and hold her up as
if that's your minute, you have 60 seconds.
Yeah, don't use her as a stall tactic.
Yeah, your first thing out of your mouth is your political statement about hip-hop.
I believe most of us either know everything we need to about hip-hop or do not care. All right. So where does this disc pick up from last night?
Wherever you are right in the middle, it picked up with Vince Gill accepting his award and calling out Kanye, saying, have you ever gotten an award from a Beatle?
Okay.
That's in itself.
I was used by MTV. I didn't win this award. I'm not coming back.
Ever.
You people are proud of me. You want me to have this. What cut was Kanye again?
Kanye.
You know what? I don't want to hear all of that again.
Okay.
I got an award from a Beatle. I'd also like to say hello to my mama. Russell. Who's in the front row? Hi, Mama. Mama. Look what I got.
Stop that.
Mama, come hug me.
That's evil.
You got one of these, Kanye?
That was Dan.
I know it was.
How many cuts are on this?
There's just 2, and the next one, JD trying to tell us that we should know better. He is on this one.
Thanks a lot.
Mama, come on out here.
We're talking about death. Hey, Russ.
Kanye, I'd like you to meet my mom.
Maybe we should leave from this.
Give her a hug.
Feel like warm.
All right, Chuck, let's go.
Thanks, Dan.
I believe you were in there with us.
Sometimes I get sucked into the turmoil.
So again, this had nothing to do with his mama.
I understand. It's about his ego.
And obviously the crowd was in with the rest of this. Not what we were saying. No. But that Kanye had gone too long.
Sure.
Otherwise they wouldn't have reacted the way they did when Vince Gill said, did you get one of those? Which one was Vince again?
Vince was cut number 18.
And the Grammy goes to...
These days, Vince Gill.
Vince Gill. I just got an award given to me by a Beatle. Have you had that happen yet, Kanye?
The crowd was with him. Yeah. Mama, come up! Kanye, we'll swap. You hug my mama, I'll... Oh. That's right. I don't have one.
Stop. Quit. That's enough.
Gonna borrow my mama?
No.
Give you the name of her plastic surgeon.
God!
Again, I didn't have anything to do with this.
I know, but you're continuing.
It's going to be the first time ever someone's actually said blame Vince Gill.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a real gentleman and a real nice guy.
That's where all of this stands.
This is why it's extra funny, because it's coming from Vince Gill. Just like getting punched by Winnie the Pooh.
Well, that would definitely have to take a shot to your ego if you got served by a country artist.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, people next to Kanye going, yo, dude, you just got owned by a honky. Redneck just owned you. He owned you. Bam. Feel his honky hand. Redneck just owned you, man.
I'm amazed we don't
Go do something. Here, take this. Go get it. He owned you like that.
We don't have audio from Kanye today saying something about Vince Gill.
What's to say?
Well, really, but still.
I got honky slapped?
Bam!
Yeah.
Feel my honky hand. All right. Anybody else complaining before we get started?
Let's see here. Kanye.
What is it? Just still the Vince Gill thing. He's getting served by Mr. Amy Grant.
I know you're upset about Johnny leaving Operation Kindness, especially under the strange circumstances, but JD is right to say that things do happen for a reason.
Oh, I'll absolutely vomit.
Who knows what the future holds for Johnny or for Operation Kindness, but I'm willing to bet that everything will work out for the best for all involved.
Things will probably work out well for her because she's got some type of support group. But the phrase, things happen for a reason, is absurd. It's buffoonish.
Well,
it's stupid.
It doesn't really mean everything's on track. And
that's exactly what it means. That's the way that you console. That's exactly the way people use it. Something bad happens to somebody, and to console them, you got to tell them, all right, let's say your dog got flattened by an ice Fiat. You can't say anything. It'll be okay.
No.
He's in a happier place. You tell him things happen for a reason. All right? Why did that happen for a reason?
It's not necessarily that happened, but something good. Sometimes good comes out of bad.
Sometimes, but that has nothing to do with an overall scheme.
No. I don't believe it.
Well, that's all you said last night.
Well,
things happen for, what is it, Ryan?
Line one.
Thanks. You of all people better hope that phrase is true. Yes, Adrian.
Yes, how you doing?
I'm very fine. How are you?
Good. I was just listening. I check out the show every now and then just to see what the honkies are talking about sometimes.
Yes.
And, I'm just really disgusted.
I would be.
Real. Really. Is that how y'all sit around and talk about black people when y'all not...
We're not talking about black people. We're talking about Kanye. He just happens to be black. It's got nothing to do with it. It's got nothing to do... I'm talking now. White guys are talking.
I'm sorry. You're right.
First of all, you called me a honky, which I find no pleasure in.
I'm sorry.
I didn't attack you when I answered the phone. I may end it that way.
You're right. That's my aggressive nature of black people. You know how we are.
Well, why wouldn't you just say making fun of anybody's mama? We make fun of white people all the time, things that happen to them. Why is it the only time you call is when they're black?
Well, no, that's not true, but you brought
called
when you said he got honky slapped.
He did.
He got
owned.
Racial thing. That was about racing to it right there.
He got owned by Redneck.
Hey,
what?
It happens to us sometimes.
Well, how come you don't call when we're making fun of other people?
I do. You
haven't.
I listen to you.
I'm going to ask you again. Maybe I'll get through this time. Why is it the only time that you've called is because black was involved when it wasn't really?
No, that's just...
Had it been Kanye or, hold on a second, Amy Winehouse, who's white?
Pat Summerall.
Yeah, Pat Summerall. Perfect example. Had we been making fun of Pat Summerall's mama, would you have called in?
I might have.
Why?
If she had one leg and y'all said she was trying to stand up for justice, yeah, I might have. That would have been wrong, But you brought honky slaps to it. And so
that's funny, but I don't get how she makes a connection.
I don't know.
I'm just, you know.
So if we were talking about Pat Summerall's mama having plastic surgery.
If you talking about he doesn't have a mama, do you have one of these? Just like if somebody's mama didn't have a leg, you wouldn't say, hey, yeah, let's fight for our rights, let's stand up for justice, and you only got one leg. Come on, it's the same thing.
No, hopefully we'd have a better punchline than that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now, you're the one that started this company.
But you could always put them in a flagpole stand.
Thanks for proving my point.
Hey, that's your one-legged mama hanging off the side of the house? Looks like she should be on the front of a ship or something.
Oh.
All right. Anybody else we want to piss off?
No, I don't believe so. She's the one that made that racial. You said nothing about Kanye being black.
No, not until said he's sitting in the audience and his father's going, yo, man, that big fat-headed redneck is on you. Do something. Be a man. Burn something. Let's flip our chairs over and stand on them. We need a break here?
Break into...
All right. Anybody see the Torino I drove in today?
I have not seen it yet, and I would like to see it during the break.
Trey, did you go outside?
No.
Oh.
How is it?
It's fine.
Did it arrive without any bumps? It'll be the first car that's come in without bumps or bruises.
I've only had one car shipped that I had problems with.
Okay. Is everything fine? Everything runs?
Well, why would you say this is the first one?
Well, you generally don't run. Your Batmobiles didn't run for the most part.
It ran when it got here. Oh, and Daryl took me out. This was Sunday. He put the new transmission in, some torque flight something. New brakes, brake lines, whatever, just to make sure that all the safety aspects were in place. He comes in the house and he smiles. He goes, let's go for a ride. And I thought, he's got everything in place. He wants to show off the smoothness of the shift.
But I did.
He takes me down to, I already tell you this, Trey?
No.
Takes me to one of the straightaways out of the neighborhood. It's an automatic transmission. He drops it down into first manually.
Yes.
And punches it. And smokes. Throws it into second. And continues to smoke. Pops it up into third. So finally I had to slug him in the side of the head. I went, knock this off. Because it was scaring the piss out of me.
I'm buying these tires.
All right, it's one of the back streets off of 26. You go out, you can see a stretch of black, quarter of a mile.
Oh, my God.
Just nonstop. And he's laughing like Jethro.
Show him what he can do. So it's working.
Yeah.
And the Torino works great.
Torino seems fun.
Chuck told me it sounded great when he started it up.
Yeah. I drove it, went out to the shipper, picked it up, drove it home. Everything looked fine. Washed it, drove it to work. No problems. Actually, it's as quiet as the inside of the truck.
Really?
Yeah. And this is, 30-some-odd-year-old car?
Yeah.
75 to now.
I'm going to come out and see it. Are you special interior, wise?
Yeah, he had, I don't know where he got I think they're called, are those called Viper seats? He yanked out the stock interior, and I think they're just called red Viper seats.
Okay, cool.
Are you going to have anything done to it?
I'd probably put a bigger engine in. I don't know what kind, though.
No.
I don't know if I should stay forward.
It's got a great engine.
No, it doesn't.
It's got a super engine.
You don't know anything about
Chuck told me it was fantastic. It's the perfect engine. It's Ford.
What is it?
A 352.
Missed it by one.
Damn. 351.
Okay.
All righty.
Doesn't seem to have a lot of horsepower, though.
Well, I'm sure different engines give you a lot more.
Yeah. It's got probably the same size engine. You get more horsepower out of a Chevy.
Yeah, maybe.
They'll put a Chevy in a Ford.
And now the Daryl's well-versed in Mopar.
But always go Dodge.
Yeah. Drop a Hemi in it.
Yeah. That is a dilemma.
Yeah.
Trey would like to field those emails.
I don't believe I know Trey's email. I know JD's.
JDRyan1053 at hotmail.com.
I know Trey's!
Not going to help you now. And I haven't decided what kind of computer to put it in, a Mac or a PC.
No.
JDRyan1053 at hotmail.com.
Come here.
All right, we'll be back.
We'll be back to the Russ Martin Show.
The interior, possibly AstroTurf or real grass.
JDRyan1053 at hotmail.com.
Coke or Pepsi?
JD Ryan, 105.3.
Now, back to the Russ Martin Show.
I said I always try to pick a long bumper when you're playing the guitar coming out of the break. That way you can play a little bit longer.
Irritate us a little bit more. The hell is that you're playing?
It's close fault.
How is that close fault?
Riff.
That's a riff?
Yeah.
Okay, what's it to?
It's Hot for Teacher.
Yeah, Hot for Teacher.
Wow. Surprised me.
They just showed me last night.
Apparently. It's over and over and over and over.
Can you tell what it is?
Oh, yeah, well, pretty much because I'm a Van Halen fan.
Is it like 4 seconds of the song somewhere in the middle of it that you just decided to repeat?
That's pretty much the riff through the whole song.
That's the whole song. Okay. Just when you add all the music and drums and bass and music and people singing, it becomes a song. Otherwise, it's just irritating.
Yeah. I'm sure people are sitting in a car. Wow, the bumpers played for almost 45 seconds. What fantastic conversation could they be having off the air?
That's it. That's all we're hearing.
Hi, Gail.
Hi.
What do you got?
Cantina Laredo and a wreck downtown on Woodall Rogers. It's on the westbound side at Field. Excuse me. It's backed up to Pearl. In Glen Heights, southbound 35 at Bear Creek. Still only one lane getting through with a backup to around Parkerville. And International Parkway, northbound past 183. There's a wreck expecting, you can expect some delays there. It's heading into the airport terminal. I think that sounds pretty good. Yeah. I'm Gail Lightfoot on the Russ Martin Show.
We got to listen to it for 7 minutes straight. 38 for the overnight low tonight, a little cooler, and then 61 for tomorrow's high. We're 52 now at Live 105.3.
Do you want to hear it again, Trey?
Absolutely.
Because you were in the office during the break. You didn't have to listen to it the whole time.
It's fantastic.
It's fantastic. Irritating.
Let's see if I really... where's it start? Does it start there?
Amazing. You got it down. We can quit. You got it down.
Is that close?
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Nailed it.
It's amazing how Chloe and I are talking. That riff is very similar to 3 Lock Box.
I don't know 3 Lock Box.
Sammy Hagar song.
Yeah, but Hot for Teacher was David Lee Roth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how I was right.
Why?
I didn't really get it because I noticed that last night. It sounded kind of similar. I have no explanation for that, actually.
Well, listen again. Maybe it'll come to you.
Close. Make it stop. Thank you.
Rock on.
Thanks. What's the matter, Dan?
I was just thinking that actually does sound a little bit like the 3 Lock Box.
Hear it one more time. Also, in the Torino, which CD should I play first?
Stop it! I'm getting emails. Quick.
Van Halen with Sammy? Or oh,
that's a dilemma.
You get emails what?
Let's see. Job, is that a rolling paper? Job papers or zigzag papers? Do you wipe up or do you wipe down? Northern Lights or Tampico Gold? New email or old email? Vermont Teddy Bear or Papa John's Pizza?
You gonna answer them or not?
No! Blocking them.
All right. I'm ready for news. Anybody else?
Sure. Yes.
I have other riffs I could practice.
No, I don't. Please, just... It's really best when you do it alone after the show, because then you have your cone of silence.
Nah, I can't get any feedback.
Your cone of silence.
And there's really no reason I should sit here and go through it by myself.
Suffer.
I need a support group.
No.
And Dan and I were talking about this during the break, going back to the everything happens for a reason. It's God's plan.
Mm-hmm. Things happen.
No.
They do. Time and time again, you see it.
The only people that believe that are the ones that have gone through tragedy.
Everybody eventually hits some kind of tragedy. You've got marriage coming.
All right. And what? I no longer look at that as a tragedy.
Really? You've embraced it?
I'm going to help plan the wedding.
Excellent. What changed?
Is she
Since
dead?
yesterday when it made you sick?
Who asked if she dead?
I did.
Why?
Because you're excited about a wedding.
Yeah.
You killed her.
No. Plus, you and I had a deal.
Yeah, we'd call each other if we ever killed our girlfriends.
Did I call you?
No.
All right. Then. So she's not dead.
But you're excited about the wedding.
Yes.
There's a hole in your backyard, isn't there?
No.
Something at the bottom of your pool?
No. And I didn't forget to call you. I decided to go with it.
What has happened since yesterday?
Well, what's going to change?
Nothing. That's what I was saying.
All right.
We got an email about that, too. Why is J.A.D. pressing you so hard to get married when he speaks so badly about being married?
Yeah, you don't like being married.
Every marriage is different. You may be very, very happy. I was happy for a while.
How long?
Do you think they're trying...
Excuse me, how long were you happy?
Do you think he's trying...
How long? You were married 9 years?
10 years.
All right.
Married 10, together 15 now. So we were happy, for, obviously.
Because you dated when you were working at Six Flags?
Yes.
Okay.
So obviously there were 5 years that were happy, otherwise we wouldn't have got married. And the next 5 were relatively happy. We changed. People grow. Well, they grow apart. But if your age, you're not
People don't grow apart.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, people really do.
People can grow apart if you don't care.
Well, you know, what happens is, what comes along is you get kids.
This goes back to the everything happens for a reason.
No.
That's just saying, I have no explanation. I don't want to take responsibility. People just grow apart.
Not at all.
People just change.
I totally take responsibility.
It's part of God's plan.
No, it's not. What happens is...
People grow apart when you don't care.
As you get older and you have kids...
And you don't care.
You get distracted. And next thing you know, 2 or 3 years passes and you're really not friends anymore. You have totally different social circles. And you're right. We didn't care enough to stay in touch with each other. You're absolutely correct. But I take full responsibility for that.
Why?
Because it's my job to keep the family together. I take responsibility for my half.
Okay, well, then you can't take full responsibility.
For my portion of it. You know,
because you guys actually tried going to counseling, and she told you you were an idiot.
It was too late at that point. You're right. I had waited too long. We grew apart. Did you know? I started working double jobs. She started doing teacher stuff all the time.
Did you know there were problems, or she just come in one day and smack you in the puss?
Oh, no, I knew there were problems. It was, yeah. I'd known for years, and it actually got very depressing when you realize 2 things have got to happen in the future. I'm going to have to spend the rest of my life being sort of unhappy, but putting up with this for the kids, or I got a divorce ahead of me. Neither one of those are good options. And that you waddle in that for the better part of a year and a half, until something happens.
But you were able to console yourself inside your neighbor's wife's womb. Yes? You found solace inside your neighbor's wife's womb. Yes?
We were already separated by that. It was over. It was done. I didn't nail the coffin shut. It was finished.
But the last year and a half that you were depressed, you found solace inside your neighbor's wife's womb.
No, that was only a couple of months. A few months. But yeah, I found some.
Well, what'd you do to fill the rest of the time?
I really got very busy at work and doing other things and flying and just getting myself busy so I wouldn't think about it.
Where were you working at the time?
That was at the Eagle. Hold on. Where was I in?
It was early 90s.
A TV show.
We were doing a TV show?
90. I got divorced.
Oh, that's right. You kept bringing chicks up to work that you were screwing.
That is not true. That didn't hurt me now, but that's not true. Do you think
we were shooting an episode and you brought this cop up that you were screwing?
We were already separated by then. In fact, I think we may have already been divorced by then.
Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah, it was, because that was in October. We were
already an adulterer.
We were already divorced. We got divorced
I
in
don't
June.
believe so.
Yeah, we were. That was June, and we were shooting in October.
JD's running around bragging, I'm banging a state trooper.
It was very odd that we were in police uniforms up shooting this Denton County thing. We were in Denton County police uniforms, and I was screwing a real cop.
Is this when y'all would be working and then he'd sneak off and go through?
And leave me to do everything while he's banging a state trooper?
I was there for you every day.
You were nowhere.
I was there.
You would be there, but you wouldn't do anything.
I didn't want to be in your way.
You didn't want to be anywhere.
I was in my scenes.
You were off in the bushes screwing a state trooper.
It didn't take long. We were there all night. It only took 20 minutes.
but I had to direct and act by myself.
You were in the scene. That was the scene where you were throwing the black guy in the woods. So I had nothing to do with that scene.
You begged me to put that in. As far as the script goes, you couldn't tell if he was black or not. He was wearing a mask.
Okay.
No, that's right. It was a black guy.
Yeah.
But you were off screwing your state trooper.
Yeah, I was on a break.
Notice haven't pointed out the sexuality of the trooper. It's just funny to say JD was screwing one.
Everybody knows it was a female.
Most troopers are male.
This one was not.
With shaved heads and hats.
No.
Yeah.
She was very, very... She was cute. She wasn't hot. She was cute.
She have that state trooper personality? Very serious?
No, not really. Not at all.
Was she open to things?
Oh, yeah. We had a lot of fun.
You get her in her trooper ass?
No.
Did you get you some stanky trooper?
No. Let me think. No, I didn't. No. She was a very sweet girl. We didn't date that long. We dated maybe 2 months. Off and on.
You didn't get no trooper pooper.
I was wondering where you were going with that.
Anybody else hear ringing?
No.
All right, then I'm having some kind of hot flash. All of a sudden, I just heard something go off in my head. I was waiting to see if anybody else reacted. Nobody heard that.
Like a phone ringing?
Yeah.
I bet it's Chuck's phone.
It rings very loud.
It's very loud.
Why would I hear it?
It's so loud that it'll probably bleed through.
No, this was like a dong.
Oh. No. You're having hot flashes?
Huh. I knew it. It's about the time that I came to terms with getting married.
Where is she?
Who?
Amy.
Probably at work.
You killed her.
No.
You promised you'd call.
Why are you focused on the dead thing? I'm ready to get married.
Something changed since yesterday.
First of all, yeah, she's dead. I've got no reason to find it.
You just woke up.
I've been happy for 3 years. She doesn't really give me any grief. She's figured out how to handle me. She's figured out when to leave me alone.
She hanging with Kanye's mom?
No, I'm just ready to go ahead and do it.
Do it soon, or you still going to...
Yeah, September's still a fine day, whatever date. What was it, Chuck?
27th.
Yeah.
Very nice. Can't wait for the party. We can have a bachelor party.
If you guys want, it'll be up to you.
That would be fun.
Obviously, I can't partake because I'll have to remain in my fidelity state.
Mm-hmm. Well, that doesn't mean you can't come to a party. Doesn't mean you have to...
Well, normally at a bachelor party, somebody gets screwed.
Not always. Not always. And yours it will.
Yeah.
You want to go? You want to have a party or not? Yeah. If you don't want one, I've had friends that go, you know what? I'm old. I'm really past that. Let's don't.
Do I want one?
Yes.
All right, we'll have one.
We'll have a party then.
And just to make sure that you get some sex, John, we'll have some troopers.
I don't need any trooper sex.
And trampolines.
Yeah.
That I do like.
All right.
And I'm laughing at you.
Why are you laughing at me?
Because I finally got an email today. I got some money coming from the government.
Why are you getting money?
Smarty pants. I got a notification right here from the IRS. After the last annual calculations of your fiscal activity, we have determined that you are eligible to receive a tax refund of $184.80. Please submit the tax refund request and allow us 6 to 9 days to order and process it. A refund can be delayed for a variety of reasons. For example, submitting invalid records or applying after the deadline. Here's a little link, and there's the next page. You just fill it out, and you get your money.
Why are you getting $200?
I don't know. It came in my email.
Which government is it?
The IRS. Ours. Look, it says IRS right on top of the page.
Tax notification. Internal Revenue Service. Service@yahoo.com. Well,
they may have a variety of...
Internal Revenue Service. After the last annual calculation, refund can be delayed.
They don't even do a good job of covering this up.
Now, let me look at the second page, because obviously you want me to see this. This is where the... All right, so you fill this in, and do you email it back or do you fax?
No, you email it back. It's a link.
Okay. Well, for a couple of $100, I don't mind filling this in. Social Security number, your credit card, name, issuing bank, card number, expiration date, CVV code, ATM card PIN. Personal information, date of birth, address, city, zip code, phone number, email address.
All I got to do, and I'm getting my refund.
$184.80. I haven't seen this one.
I haven't either. That's why I printed it out. It's so badly.
Did you really get this in the email, or somebody sent this to you?
No, that came to me personally in the email. Came in on the.
And if my mom gets something like this, that crazy bitch will fill it out and.
Well, it's got the IRS thing right on top on the second page. Look at it.
It says the actual email address says service@irs.gj.gov. To access the form for your tax refund, use the following personalized link. And then it's it's got nothing to do with the government.
And it takes you to that second page, which is just all your information.
Here's part of the link that you're supposed to type in. Or I guess if you get an email, it's a hyperlink. 0xca.0x08.0x1d.0xd /IRS. Has anybody else got one of these?
I haven't.
I haven't even heard of it. This scam yet.
It comes, how normally it says this came to you from J.D. Ryan. This one says comes to you from the Internal Revenue Service. And the subject is tax notification. It's just 2 pages.
What's the actual, are you looking at the actual email?
Pull it up, yeah.
Double click on the email address from the government and tell me what it says.
Okay. That's where it goes here.
Because I really doubt it's going to end with .gov.
No, it's really long. HTTP by 11W Bay. 11.
That's the actual email address?
It says address URL. Is that what I'm looking at? Right
no.
Oh.
Look at this. See like this?
Mm-hmm.
See this email address?
Uh-huh.
All right. See where it says from?
Uh-huh.
Double click on that. It'll actually tell you what the email address is.
Okay.
You had one of these long?
Mm-mm.
All right. Dan, do you know what I'm doing?
I see what you're doing there on Outlook, but I don't think he's using Outlook for that.
What are you using?
This is coming up in Hotmail.
Oh. Yeah, okay, I don't think you can do it. Doesn't make any difference. Well, there. You can fill that out.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I don't know how to spend it. I'll figure it out.
I've actually decided I'm not as gung-ho about the tax rebates as I originally was.
Why not? You're going to probably be eligible for the full amount, $500, $600, whatever they decided on.
Yeah, and that's, on the surface, that's great, but I was reading a news story last night, and it said where that money actually comes from, and I should have known better, but it's actually basically a front on your supposed return for 08. So it's basically an advance on your return for the following year.
It's not extra money?
No.
Where did the $1 billion go, whatever it was, that money they passed?
Well, that's the money that it said it was valued at.
Oh.
So they're just spiffing it. Well, what if I don't have any tax coming back for 08?
Then if I remember correctly, I'll try to pull it back up. It says...
Or they just take it out of the tax that you would owe for 08.
Exactly. They take it out of the tax you would owe for 08, and you would just keep the difference, and the difference would be your return.
Well, that's not the way they sold it at all.
Of course it's not.
No, they're talking about putting $200 billion back into the economy to stimulate buying.
They're just borrowing it from...
Where did you read the story?
It was on CNN.
No, I missed that one.
I did too.
So it doesn't really make any difference. You'll get your money, John.
Yes.
You just got to wait till 08.
And I got the 180 coming.
Yeah. Are you looking at the story now?
I'll have to give me a minute or two to find it.
All right, you can dig it up during the break.
Okay.
How are we doing, Chloe?
Breaking two.
Okay.
She leave you?
Huh?
She leave you?
Who?
Amy.
Oh. Why?
Why are you excited about the wedding?
I want to get married. That's why I proposed.
You didn't call.
She's not dead.
You promised.
If I kill her, I'll give you the heads up before.
Yesterday you were nauseous.
Yeah.
Well, then what has occurred? You woke up and you went...
Okay, fighting it's going to do what? I'm going to get married sooner or later. This is probably going to be the best scenario that I'm going to find. Going out and screwing new poon. It's not as exciting as it used to be. It's all poon.
Yeah, it's true.
So, what's my issue? What's the problem?
I don't know. I just wonder what the revelation was. That's what I was saying yesterday.
I agree with you now. Why the friction?
Agree with me.
I'm going to get married.
There's fresh dirt in your backyard, isn't there?
No. That's red clay. It's hard to dig back there.
You tried.
Yeah. Northern Tool had a sale on wood chippers. Nothing's going on at the house. Okay. She didn't leave. She ain't dead. And I didn't forget to call, so don't feel slighted, Trey.
I don't believe you.
I decided not to fight it.
All right, so you just had this epiphany and just went, okay, you're right. What am I thinking?
Exactly.
Okay.
Why be nauseous about it? I'm going to have a prenup. If things go belly up, you get a divorce. She gets a little bit. Probably earn part of that just by putting up with me for 3 or 4 years, plus however long the marriage lasts. There.
Okay. That's what I was saying yesterday. Now he's being called a fool.
You told me nothing would change.
It won't.
So why would I want to get married?
You should get married because she wants to get married, and nothing else is nothing in your life is going to change. She lives there. She's already there. You're not going to. Are you going to commingle funds? I would assume not. Well, sure, he signs checks for you.
No, she doesn't.
She writes them out.
Writes them out, and I sign them.
You sign them. Okay.
So no, we won't be commingling funds. I'm not going to have anything that I earn go and leave. Because once you commingle funds, they get half of that. Regardless of what they put in. If I put in $2 million into a fund and she sticks in $150, when we get divorced, she's going to get half of all of that.
I didn't realize that. Really?
Yes. It's like a corporation. Everything goes into this big slush fund, and then when you go your own way, you divvy it up.
So really, in your life, nothing will change. She'll still write out the checks. You still sign them. She has her account paying her bills. You pay yours.
We're going to be as separate as we possibly can and be married.
Congratulations. I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you. Who's your best man going to be?
Phil from Southwest Airlines.
You pig.
Or Trey.
Or Trey. Okay. I can accept Trey.
Who would you not accept?
Phil. My buddy.
Is he the only one? Because I got a list of people.
It's okay.
Who was the PD at K-Plex you hated?
Brad Chambers.
Yeah. Is he still around?
Yes.
I believe I may talk to him.
How many bridesmaids is... What did you do?
To what?
To her.
You guys want to invite Dan Lewis to the party and then pummel him?
Yeah.
Move the date up.
Be like a wedding piñata.
And the best part is he wouldn't expect that.
Russ has forgiven me. I'm coming to the wedding. This is great.
Why do I have to dress like a chicken? And swallow this bag of caramel?
It's the theme, Dan. Everyone's doing it. Come on.
Do we need a break?
Yes.
What is line 4, Ryan? Really quick.
You were in a magazine recently. It came out last Wednesday. It comes out once a week.
All right. A little bit longer.
They're basically just bashing you and your show about Heath Ledger, that whole deal.
Oh. All right. Yes, David.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
I just wondered if you knew you were famous in a gay periodical now.
No.
It's called The Voice. It's a weekly periodical. Comes out gay related.
Are you gay?
I am.
Okay, I was just wondering how you saw it. What did it say? Obviously, you're driving, you can't read it, but just paraphrase.
You're right. I just read it last Friday, but it was bashing you. They were criticizing your take on the Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger wasn't gay.
Well, no, y'all kept referring to, just like every other media outlet, you kept referring to the his most famous movie.
That's all anybody knew. The headline in the Star Telegram said, "Brokeback actor dies."
Yeah, exactly. Well, they of course, some of the jokes that you referred to, they took offense to it, and the name was there. And
they gonna come get me?
I kept looking for the date for the protests, but they have not announced anything yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, possibly I can help them out. Mm-hmm.
I will certainly be there if they do that.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Hold on. Gavin.
Yes, sir.
Can I borrow your copy of The Voice?
I don't get The Voice.
Oh.
Pick one up if you'd like.
Yes.
Fine.
Where do you get those?
I'll probably get it at the Blockbuster.
Why would they have a gay magazine at Blockbuster?
Because it's in that section of town.
Oak Lawn?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you can. Or you know what? Check online and maybe they have the story on their website.
Okay.
All right. Breaker. All right. right, we'll be back.
We'll be back to the Russ Martin Show. To the Russ Martin Show.
All right, somebody handed it to me, but I lost it.
Here's another copy.
Yeah. From the Dallas Voice. All righty. DJ's remark on Ledger hurtful. On the day of actor Heath Ledger's death, I happened to scan past the Russ Martin daily talk show broadcast on radio station KLLI 105.3 FM. Not a regular listener.
Nope.
Just one of those happenstances.
Scanned by.
Why don't they just say I was listening and I didn't like it?
Because he doesn't want to show the.
If you're looking for, if you're looking for talk, you're on the AM dial. If you're looking for music, you don't come down this far to the right unless you're going to KISS. And so we're not going to be a preset. People don't just scan past stations; they got their presets.
Because he doesn't like you and he doesn't want to show that he supports you. Not like I'm a regular listener to the show and sort of accidentally.
As the news of his tragic death was emerging, radio DJ Russ Martin sarcastically implied on the air that Ledger died of AIDS. I never said that.
Not that I remember at all.
I don't think AIDS ever even came up.
Why would it? He's not gay.
No. I have no idea what he's referring to.
I believe I may have a lawsuit. Gavin.
Yeah.
You want to take a copy of this article? Well, hang on a second. This is a letter to the... Who was that?
That was Eric.
The one with the limp dick? Why is he in there?
I'm in trouble. No, we're just talking about the show.
Are you in trouble?
Yeah.
What'd you do?
I played a bed with lyrics.
Bed with lyrics. What does that mean?
We were doing an interview and a bed came up and it had lyrics in it. I thought it took away from the interview.
Are you chewing his ass for that?
I'm just talking to him about it. It's my job.
Hey, Eric.
Yeah?
During an interview?
Yeah.
Use instrumentals. Now get out of there.
Bye.
How long did it take you to tell him that?
We were talking about other things.
But obviously that was his focus.
Yeah, that was one of the things that we talked about.
Eric, play instrumentals. Go on.
Yeah.
Be on your way.
What'd you say?
I'm trying to teach.
Teach what? Play instrumentals.
Yeah.
That covers that.
I feel like I've learned.
See? Dan's a better person. Can you still sue a brag if even if it's a letter to the editor? Isn't there some duty to research what they're printing?
The only question in mind, would that be more, since it's a letter to the editor, it's more opinion.
This is an opinion. It said, I did specific things on a specific date.
If you can prove that you did not do it, then you can demand a retraction based on the opinion.
I never said Ledger died from AIDS.
No, you never even mentioned that. No.
Russ Martin has used the word fag on countless occasions. That's not true. I've used it 7 times.
7?
So obviously it's countable.
Okay.
He obviously caters to a certain audience that likes this kind of humor. My concern is that the general public is unaware, or at the very least unconcerned, about what I consider to be hate speech. Again, I didn't say he was gay.
See, you can get close to that.
What was the short tribute? Where do we put that? Is it over?
Over
this computer or this one?
I think it's in the big 360.
Hang on a second. See if I kept it up here. All right. All right, that's Gavin. Getting close.
Stop it. Nice to him.
It's a one-shot thing we got going on here.
It's nobody's business but ours.
You know I ain't queer.
Isn't that right, Mr. Poopy Pants?
That was it.
That's the whole thing? Oh.
So he was a fan. Unless I forgot about something, and that happens.
It's got nothing to do.
But I have no recollection of saying anything to do with AIDS.
Nothing at all that I remember either. Any quotes today, so we can go back and listen to the show if you want to.
My concern is the general public. Later that night, I called the radio station to complain and was told to call back the next day to file my complaint with the management. Gavin, did he call you?
I've never got a complaint on that.
All right. What have you gotten complaints on?
Oh, just various things from various shows.
Well, what about us?
I really don't get complaints about you. It's very surprising.
Just the Crepe Myrtle people.
Yes. Yeah.
One protest, and that died.
Yeah.
We fired a cannon at him.
Twice.
That's it.
So, short of the Crepe Myrtles, you very seldom get calls about this show.
That's correct.
But you get some Bugs and Kelly, Jagger?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, sure.
What kind of complaints you get from them?
Or
about them?
Well, like if they say something that offends, you know what I mean? Like the Bicycle Association that we
Is that when Pugs suggested dooring some guy on a bike?
No, that...
Did you just tell me to shush?
No.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, but that was, what, 2-3 years ago?
Yeah.
It was a big deal.
Yeah. You know, sometimes we'll have... actually, sometimes people will comment regarding Jagger and him making fun of gay people.
Not knowing that he's gay.
Correct.
It's like me dropping the term Dago or WAP, and people don't know that I'm Italian.
Exactly.
Right.
He can do whatever he wants.
So that's it?
That's it.
All right.
Yeah, we don't get complaints from you.
This is not even like this guy heard this. It's like somebody told him.
Well, here's the rest of it. The next day, I was unable to get through. I called and spoke with a news reporter at Channel 5, the local NBC affiliate, and was told it was none of their affair.
Nothing to see here. We're not here. We're closed.
Prank call. Why would they say it's none of their affair?
I don't want to mess with you. We have a cannon.
That's just funny to read.
We ain't going over there. You're crazy. I don't care if you kill somebody. We're not covering it.
The next day, I was unable to get through. I called and spoke with a news reporter with Channel 5, the local NBC affiliate, and was told it was none of their affair. You didn't tell him you called us, did you? I believe in free speech, but every word spoken has repercussions. Out of frustration and anger, I am writing this letter to the editor. Russ Martin insulted Heath Ledger and made light of the suffering of countless AIDS victims. He should be allowed to speak freely, but he must accept to be held accountable for the harm his words cause. Edward Fuqua, Dallas. That's it. No verification. No. Gavin, did you get a call from the Dallas Voice?
I got nothing.
All right, so nothing to verify any of this. If it's a letter to the editor, obviously, and we don't even know that this is this guy's real name, I can send anything. You don't got to verify it because it's under editorials, commentary.
Right.
You would think there would still be some type of legal action.
I think Gavin's right. The most thing you're going to get is a retraction.
Right.
Third page.
I could certainly send it up the legal flagpole.
2 lines.
Well, I think they should at least get a call from CVS Legal. They should do something on my behalf for a change as opposed to crawling up my ass.
I wish it was a reporter writing that, because then we'd definitely have some.
I would still think you print something, your magazine, you're advertising, you're putting it out, you're the editor. you're responsible for whatever goes in there.
You know, that's a good point.
And at least to mitigate any possible damages, you make a phone call. All right? CBS was unavailable for comment. We tried to verify any of this. We asked for a copy of the show. Didn't do any of that.
Just printed it.
It's very much a double standard because if you think about it, if you go on the air and say so-and-so told me this, that's slander still.
Now, again, anytime somebody's perceived as a celebrity, do the parameters change?
Yeah, but he's saying that you said something that you didn't.
Yeah. And he said I used the word fag on countless occasions.
Countless.
And I contend it was 7. And that's collectively, that's not from that one day.
No.
A couple of times I was talking to you. Jagger was on once. And I believe one day I was on the tear. Russ Martin insulted Heath Ledger. Well, again, Heath Ledger's not gay, so that's got nothing to do with being in a gay magazine. If you really were concerned, why didn't you write it to the morning news? Unless they told you the same thing Channel 5 did.
I would imagine they did.
Right. Called and spoke with a news reporter at Channel 5, the local NBC affiliate, was told it was none of their affair.
I love that.
Yeah, I'll send this to legal just to see if we can be a pain in the ass. No fun. All right. Anything before we get to news? We have time?
Yes. Then he made an ass joke.
What?
Then he made an ass joke.
How did I make an ass joke?
Just now. Pain in the ass. No offense. But don't grab onto that.
All right.
I have one more email.
I think you're being too sensitive.
I'm not.
All right.
Hey, Russ, heard you say a while back that if your dog died, you probably would take a week off to grieve. What would you do if somebody on the show died suddenly?
I don't seem to react as violently as I do when animals die. People, I just figured some poor decision you made.
So you carry on.
I would probably take off if Amy died.
Would you? How long?
Probably.
God.
It depends. Because that red clay in the backyard is really thick. Never thought about anybody dying on the show. I've never had anybody in a close circle die.
Almost had Dan Lewis on you die on you one day.
Don't. Because I'm still pissed off at myself that I was going to give him CPR, even though he was jacking with me.
You were going down for the count. You were going down toward him when he opened his eyes and went, "Getting ho."
That was beyond an internal struggle. Is he jacking with me? If he's not, then if he really passed out, then he's going to die. It's going to take the fire department 3 or 4 minutes to get here. Granted, the brain damage that's going to occur isn't going to be noticeable.
And he could yak in your mouth.
Do they yak back?
Sometimes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, learned that in CPR class. That's what they told us.
I've decided if I see somebody I don't know and they passed out, I'm not giving them CPR. Because once you start, I believe you have some, I don't know if it's fiduciary duty, but you have some duty to continue until somebody else gets there.
As a flight attendant, you absolutely do. You can't stop until the plane lands, even if they're dead.
Because they can't be pronounced dead midair.
In the air. They have to be in a state pronounced dead by a doctor or coroner.
Now, on a plane, would they have one of those bags to do CPR? You got to do the mouth thing.
They do have the bag.
Again, why is it you can't die on an airplane?
You can't die in the air because the death certificate has to be signed where you're pronounced dead. You have to be in a state to be pronounced dead.
If you're already dead, whether I'm blowing air into your lungs or not, that changes nothing.
That's what I was told. They cannot be pronounced dead in the air. They have to be on the ground somewhere in one state or the other. So the doctor from that state, who's licensed by that state, can actually say, this person is dead.
All right, now do you have to land immediately?
Oh, God, yes.
Okay.
God, yes.
So it's not like you have to go to your initial destination.
No, make it an emergency landing immediately. So you're probably in the air another 20, 30 minutes tops.
Will they let you take a smoke break?
No. You're in an airplane. You get no breaks. No, you have to sit there and pump God forbid that ever happened, but I'm sure it has.
Yeah.
Don't planes now carry the defibrillators too?
They do. Some. I won't say all of them, but I'm not sure.
All right. So what was the question? How long would I take off?
Somebody on the show died. Would you take off at all?
I don't have a snappy answer. I don't know.
What if it was Ryan?
Ryan?
Ryan.
Don't wave at me. Like he's just trying to score points. Hey,
that's me.
Friendly wave. No, I haven't known him long enough.
Gavin?
I don't think I would take off for anybody.
Fair enough.
Is that cold?
That's you.
I feel bad. I'd address it on the air.
Well, that's probably what people would want to hear, too. It's kind of like when 9/11 happened. Something bad happened, but people wanted us to be here.
And I don't know why I react the way I do with animals. But yeah, one of the dogs died. Well, I'm probably going to be off for a few days.
You're going to be inconsolable. You'll be very... And what kind of a show would that be?
Well, and with an animal, you almost feel like you're to blame. It was because they trust you to do everything.
I see.
So if they die, obviously I screwed something up if they didn't die from old age.
It's just old age.
I have nightmares 2 or 3 times a week about the dogs getting loose. And I don't know why that's a recurring thing. So every day I do this. It's almost like an obsessive-compulsive type thing. I leave, I get in the truck, I back out, I stop, I go double-check the doors again, even though I know damn well I just locked them both and set the alarm. I go back in, I do head counts twice, and then I leave.
That's good. That's fair. That's just being responsible.
But I know I just locked everything.
I know, but you're totally responsible for these animals. That it's not like a 10-year-old who can really, for the most part, be alone for 30, 45 minutes. I mean, shouldn't leave them, but they could be.
Right.
Dogs are totally irresponsible, and they'll get out. If they get out, they just run. They don't know from cars.
So I don't know where this paranoia came from, but it's an everyday thing now. Even though, with the paranoia, I know I'm having as I'm leaving, I check the doors. God forbid. I leave, I get in the truck, and then I stop and I go back and check again. Even though I knew I was going to do this when I left the house.
Just your routine. That's not sick.
Well, you came in the day when Michelle, that baby Chihuahua, died. You said once, this is kind of like...
Are you going to cry?
No.
No.
You said once this is kind of like a protection area. You keep the rest of the world out while you're in here.
Yeah, regardless of how bad things are, you come in here, and for whatever reason, for the 4 hours, you seem to be shielded from almost anything.
Yes, you are.
So maybe that was the reason I came in. And that was hard for me because whatever she got, I had to go to the vet hospital every day. I'd feed her through a tube. And every day before I get there, you'd think, all right, this is going to be the day that she's going to show some sign of improvement. And that Friday, the vet came in and went, dude, you're pissing on a dead dog.
God. I understand.
And they said, we can't tell you what to do. And obviously, you asked the question, if it were your dog, how would you play this out? Here's what we'd do. So I went back and I held her while they put her down. And they said, we'll take her back and we'll do this and you don't have to experience anything. And I thought that was too chicken ass. I'm a coward in almost anything else I do. If I can't go and be there with something, then I'm too big of a puss.
That was a good thing to do. And we came to work that day.
Well, I'm good and depressed.
I'm sorry.
And we have no alcohol, do we?
None.
You bring the throwdown flask?
What? I did as I was told.
Point of saying you don't want alcohol and having a backup.
I'm not going to use it every day.
Used it yesterday. This is Tuesday.
Is it really?
Yeah.
It's a comfort zone. Oh. It's there.
Okay.
It's a safety net.
Got it.
It's a parachute.
I totally understand
It's a bottle of alcohol.
I used to carry my pills around. I didn't eat them every day, but I had them there in case.
Same thing. Still have time for news?
Nope.
Oh. All right, load the brake. Let's go. You want to go for a ride in the...
That'll make everybody happy. We'll get out of this death mode. Yes, I'd like to go for a ride.
The new Torino?
The new Torino.
Okay. What is it, Dan?
Well, it will.
I don't know. Get everybody out of this death mood. Let's go ride in a hot rod.
We'll be back.
We'll be back to the Russ Martin Show. The number one afternoon show is found right here. The Russ Martin Show. To the Russ Martin Show.
wreck. I've got Carter Eye Center and, a wreck on LBJ. It was just a matter of time. Westbound 635 before Marsh Lane. The left lane's blocked. It's backed up to the tollway. On the other LBJ, westbound I-20 at Bonneview, the exit ramp's blocked. There's a problem with a truck and a crane. Traffic's backing up onto the highway. On northbound Simmons at Commerce, there's a wreck in the right lane. In Fort Worth, I-35 North Freeway real heavy between 820 and I-30. And in McKinney, southbound 75 at White Avenue, there's a crash. It's backed up to University on the service road. And northbound traffic is heavy from El Dorado Parkway. I'm Gail Lightfoot on the Russ Martin Show.
Scale 38 for the overnight low tonight. Warming up a little tomorrow. 63 should be the high. We're at 51 now at Live 105.3.
It's like I told you when we went around the block. I don't know why I got wound up about this car coming.
Yeah.
Because as far as TV cars go, how long was Starsky and Hutch on? 3, 4 years?
Yeah, at least. That's still a cool car. It's still a muscle car.
It's
a TV car.
I don't even think in the mid-'70s the Gran Torino was considered a muscle car.
No, it actually wasn't. My now ex-wife had one. And it wasn't also built up like yours is.
Well, this one, all this is a red Gran Torino with that white stripe painted down the top and the sides and mags on it.
It's still cool, though. It's a real fun ride. It's not as powerful as you're used to because you're used to the General Lee.
That was a good deal.
I got a thing here from, let's see here, St. Petersburg Times.
Oh, I saw this today.
The newspaper recently asked readers to vote what they thought the hottest TV cars of all time. In the end, the number one, well, I'll tell you what number one was in a minute.
I already know what, number 10, I don't know how this got on there. Oh, was the Beverly Hillbillies truck?
Only because it says hottest TV cars of all time, so you think hot. But yeah, the Beverly Hillbillies jalopy was number 10.
What was number 9?
Nash's Plymouth Barracuda from Nash Bridges.
Okay. I think
cool car.
8 was Starsky and Hutch, the Gran Torino.
Right. That was on from 75 to 79. You're correct. 4 years.
I don't even know. I can't even think of the theme from Starsky and Hutch.
I don't know if I've ever seen an episode.
It was a great show.
Really did you see the movie?
No.
No. Because when I was thinking about buying this Gran Torino, I showed Trey a picture of it. Because it's clean. What is that?
That's cool, boy. I think that big stripe on it.
You had no clue what that car was?
No.
All right. Well, then don't waste your time going outside and looking at it.
Oh, I'm excited
being
now.
In person's not going to change anything.
It's beautiful. It really is very clean. That's one of the cleanest TV cars I've ever seen that's not in the show. And interior-wise, it looks like it came out of the factory. Spotless.
Yeah, he was pretty anal about it. No rattles, no dings, new paint job.
New carpet, new overhead, new
wheels. He had to get rid of it because his wife was crawling up his ass.
Sounds like you got a hell of a deal, too.
Yeah. He said, well, I could auction it off and get more. Here's what I asked for the reserve if you want it for the reserve. How bad is she poking you?
Must be pretty bad.
And that started to piss him off. I don't have to get rid of it. All right, then I don't want it.
Oh, what do you want?
I'll take 500 less. And part of the deal was also that his wife wouldn't know how much he sold it for.
Fair enough.
Number 7 was the coach from the Munsters.
All right.
Are you still looking to get one of those?
Maybe.
Okay. Number 6, Crockett's Ferrari Daytona Spider from Miami Vice.
All right.
That's a pretty cool car.
Well, what kind of car was that, Chuck?
It's Ferrari, but it's built on a Corvette frame.
All right, so it wasn't a real one.
No, it was not.
Oh, all right.
Okay. Speaking of Corvettes, number 5 was from Route 66. Route 66 Corvette.
Was that Martin Milner?
Yes.
All right. It was at a 56, I believe.
I got it.
Number 4, Kit Car, Knight Rider.
All right.
Number 3, the Ferrari from Magnum. And
okay.
Number 2, General Lee, obviously. Number 1, the Batmobile. 1966 to 6. That show was only on 2 years. That's hard to believe.
Yeah.
That's our whole childhood that show was on.
Well, originally when it came on, I think it was on Wednesday and Thursday nights. Ran twice a week. You'd have the first part, then the cliffhanger would be the next night. Mm-hmm. And then the ratings started to drop, and then they went to just one night a week. And then finally, it's amazing that Adam West could be typecast in something that was only on for 2 years in the 60s.
Yeah.
And really didn't start to act again until 90s?
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. Him, Shatner, they've now, I guess, embraced who they are as far as...
I think Shatner's gone overboard.
He has really embraced it.
And I saw today, it doesn't look like ABC is going to pick up Boston Legal for the next season.
No, we have that story, too.
That's unbelievable.
Never did well in the ratings.
I thought, that's what you said. It really wasn't a ratings winner. Well done. Well
it did
written.
well in certain target demographics with disposable income, and that was the reason it stayed on so long. I'm just surprised that nobody else has caught on to it. I don't know if it's got a bad time slot. It's just humor that I get. It's funny to me because Shatner is beyond a characterization of himself.
I think it's funny, and I'm not a serious TV watcher. I was set my DVR to watch that, and I don't watch anything.
And you watched it, Chloe?
Oh yeah.
All right.
I did watch the dog show last night.
What dog show?
It was on CNBC, the Westminster Dog Show. It is the funniest thing you'll ever see live television. It's like a sporting event, and these people take this, they are beyond serious about their dogs.
That's the world
It's the
championship.
biggest thing in the world. And there's thousands of people there to watch it. And you never saw the movie Best of Show, did you?
Yeah, it is.
You did see it?
Yeah.
It's exactly like that movie. Down to the...
Have you seen it, Trey? Best of Show?
Yeah.
Down to the announcers and the little comments they make. And these dogs come from different parts of the world. And
do they take points off if they're pink penis? Because that would show me that the dog's actually interested in what's going on, and I would actually spiff him a couple of points.
It is so on, that movie. It's so funny. Watch these owners.
But what they have to do to get there...
Hold on. Why are you watching a dog show?
Joy got me into them because we watched that movie and loved that movie so much. She called me up. She goes, it's on. I'm like, space shuttle blew up. What happened? What? She goes, no, CNBC. Turn it on. And it's the Westminster Dog Show.
And you watched all of it.
She's rooting for the Beagle because the Beagle is on tonight, I think. That's the Best of Show. It's a big deal.
So they left you with a cliffhanger.
Yes. Yesterday was Best of Breeds, and then more Breeds tonight, and then Best of Show. I think that's the way it goes.
What time does it come on?
7
I don't care.
7 o'clock Central.
All right.
But I
still don't care. And who knows what they put those dogs through just to get to that point.
Just a lot of showing.
Make any difference. Ready, Dan?
Yeah, I have the ABC stories. You were curious.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Yesterday, ABC picked up 9 of their scripted series for next season. The obvious pickups on the list were Desperate Housewives, Grey's Anatomy, and Lost. Other shows that will be back in the fall are Brothers and Sisters and Ugly Betty. The Greys spinoff, Private Practice, Pushing Daisy, Samantha Who, and Dirty Sexy Money will be back this fall. And at least for now, ABC has chosen not to pick up Boston Legal and Men and Trees. But since it's still early, that doesn't necessarily mean that they'll be canceled outright.
But you've got other shows on other networks that are absolutely idiotic. The one with Foxworthy, inbred with a fifth grader.
Are you smarter than a fifth grader?
Yeah. I believe that's in the top 10 every
It is.
week.
People watch that because they want to see if they're smarter than a fifth grader. Anything that's interactive like that, you can play without having to really think, people like. Look at that suitcase show with the Howie Mandel.
I watched that last night. It was pretty good.
Again, people like to watch it because they can play along.
Well, he actually does a very good job of, the suspense and everything else.
And those chicks are not just one or half of them. Every chick holding a briefcase is stunning.
And they always wear those short dresses or just nasty outfits.
I like it when they look in the briefcase, when they're supposed to open it up. I still don't have the rules down. I just know they got to open up a briefcase, and they look in, and they get that little look of surprise, like, you're wet.
I don't know why, but my favorite part of the show is the very beginning when they all come down the steps. And for whatever reason, it's almost like...
It's like a buffet.
Well, it's like...
I'd be in the back, raising my flag. Eat another.
Yeah, but even more so than that, it's like they're militaristic in how they're marching down the steps in unison. It's almost like a battalion of hotness. You just, keep coming down the stairs.
Yeah. Like they care about me, and they're coming towards me.
Mm-hmm. And they want to do everything in unison.
Jesus.
That's the only reason I kept watching it last night. If I really cared about the show, I'd know what the rules are. I'd just wait till they'd zoom in on one of those chicks, and each time it would be just...
They go out of their way.
Stunning. Mm-hmm. Everyone was my type.
Is it the same?
Because some of them would be, in the other shows, the models might be exotic. Mm-hmm. You can kind of see where they're hot, and other times they look kind of skanky. All of these would be chicks that would turn me down.
Now I have to watch it again tonight. Is it on? It wouldn't.
I don't know. Anyway,
it's like a beauty pageant.
Is it on again tonight?
I don't know.
All right. Thanks.
Are you curious about any other shows when they're supposed to come back? You want me to just name off? I know one at the top that I know Mark Davis might be kind of crushed about with 24.
Is it not coming back?
It's expected to return this fall or January of 2009. And they were all...
Oh, good Lord.
And I think 24 was actually... I thought it was supposed to start around now, if not last month.
Well, just because the writer's strike is about over doesn't mean the shows come back next week. Most of them have a 3 or 4 month head start, or just a series in the bank.
Yeah, and in the case of 24...
Yeah, but you're right with Mark Davis.
If it gets pushed back an entire year...
Oh, good Lord.
I think the only thing to sustain him would be the American Idol, because I know he watches that religiously.
Why? Do they do curling in that?
No, it's just...
I'm sorry, I'm thinking about Gladiator.
No, it's just one of the things on occasion on his show when he talks to the other guys on the show, he'll bring them in and they'll talk American Idol stuff.
Should get him on and tell him that we got news that 24 has been canceled.
Oh, God. Yes, breaking news, Mark.
Oh, good Lord. You want to start news here?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
I have a little piece of news.
What?
That just broke. I don't know if this is important or not. Trey can tell us. Venezuela's state oil company has decided to suspend commercial relations with Irving-based ExxonMobil Corporation. This is just breaking. That's all they say.
All right. What does that mean?
I'll have to read the story. Part of it may be that basically they're seizing the oil they have in Venezuela and they're kicking Exxon out, which means that they don't have as much oil as they used to.
Exxon or Venezuela?
Exxon.
All right. Well, we know the end of this story. 513, did you do a legal ID? Dan O'Malley's here with news.
Thank you, Russ. It is brought to us by Autorama, which will be at the Dallas Market Hall Friday through Sunday. And you can see Claude there this Sunday from 2 to 4 p.m. That's at the Dallas Market Hall for the Autorama. Tuesday, February 12th, 2008, birthdays today. China Phillips is 40. Arsenio Hall is 53. Michael McDonald is 56. Mo Bandy is 64. One teen mother story has...
How you guys giggling?
This is Mo Bandy. This reminds me of all the songs they used to come out with. Where is the dress?
Is that the guy?
Uh-huh.
Mo and Joe?
Mo and Joe, yeah.
All right.
One teen mother's story has stirred a debate big enough that a North Texas school district met last night to find a solution. The controversy stems from a Burleson student with a 1-year-old child and those who question whether her story should be in the high school yearbook. At the meeting, high school senior Brittany Shipman pleaded her case to the Burleson ISD. She admitted she was, in her own words, once a wild child. The 17-year-old said when she discovered she was pregnant, she originally planned to place the child for adoption. However, she said once her daughter was born, those plans changed. The birth of her daughter was a life-changing experience, she says. I made all A's and B's. The yearbook staff took notice and included her in a brief yearbook story about 2 student parents. But when the principal saw the rough draft, he called the editor. He said the articles glamorized them, and putting it into print made it seem we agreed with what they did. This according to Megan Estes, the yearbook's senior editor.
You can go one of two ways with this. You can say either it glamorizes it and we've accepted teen pregnancy too much to where there's no stigma and now kids couldn't give a rat's ass. Or you give her credit for keeping the kid, not putting it up for adoption, not having an abortion, and taking responsibility. It's really depending on how you want to portray that student. And it sounds like she just wanted to take responsibility for it.
Yeah, that's actually, and even here in the quote in the story, Shipman, the girl who had the daughter who's being featured in the yearbook article, says, glamorizing the situation, what is there to glamorize? She said, it's hard work.
And she could have taken the easy way out and just did the RU-486 if she had time, or could have had an abortion.
Yeah, and it is incredibly hard work. The only positive I can see about putting it in the yearbook is you explain how incredibly painful your life changes as a teenager. Guys don't necessarily want to date you. No wonder you made A's and B's. You had nothing to do but stay home and study. You're up at 3 o'clock in the morning doing feedings. You're changing diapers, and then you get to go to school all day.
Yeah, if you go back and break down the timeline of here's how things were, here's how things went.
I was a party girl.
Fine.
Had a lot of fun. Now my life has completely changed. You might keep a couple of girls from getting pregnant. That's the only glamour.
Do they still teach sex ed?
I believe so.
In this school district, if I remember seeing it correctly, it said that they have an abstinence-only policy.
That's why I didn't want it in the yearbook.
Uh-huh.
Well, you're accepting it if you put it in the yearbook.
You're accepting it, Well, no, you're not. You're just acknowledging that it happened, and JD's right. If you play out the entire story of having a baby, sounds like it's just going to be grandiose, but you just don't have it, and it maintains. It's not like a puppy. You got to watch it nonstop. You got to rearrange your life. Everything has to come to a complete halt. You got to figure out who's going to watch it. Are you going to stay in school? You get married? What else am I going to do? Because from this point on, everything else in my life is going to change. And she could have taken the easy way out, had the abortion. That doesn't mean I think that she should have had gotten pregnant to begin with.
No, that doesn't say that she did the right thing getting pregnant. In fact, like I said,
but if your mentality is abstinence, the entire school district is a bag of fools.
Yeah, Superintendent Mark Jackson said the district teaches an abstinence-based curriculum, and that if they want to do a story on overcoming...
Nature wants us to have sex. You can't tell kids who are going through puberty when things are firming up and hair's coming in, you've got to maintain abstinence.
Well, I know but the point is that's what we teach, and if we put this in the yearbook, it shows we failed.
Well, we've already proven we failed. Abstinence has no place in the school.
Well, clearly they think it does, because that's what they teach.
Okay, all right. How do you practice abstinence? What do? You get really horny and then you change your thoughts to something else?
I don't know how
that doesn't work, because regardless of whatever else I think of, I'm going to screw it. If I'm getting ready to have sex and I start thinking of cartoons just to take my mind off of it, I want to bang Josie and the Pussycats. Long tails and ears for hats.
I've never understood the abstinence thing. How you teach that, what you say, I don't know. But I know they think it works. Somebody sat in an office, somebody sat in a classroom, came up with a curriculum.
They didn't come up with it. That's going to be a religious take on it. You're supposed to practice abstinence. You don't have sex before you're married. These kids, their loins is in fuego.
I understand.
Our government spends tens of millions of dollars to promote abstinence education.
What is that? Are those leaflets they drop on people? Buttons you hand out?
It subsidizes
It's
school.
something I'd blow a wad in. Well, thank God they dropped this off. I was looking at porn the other day and realized I hadn't brought my handy pipe.
So?
I didn't realize I didn't have it until I needed it.
I don't want to know what we did. Anyway.
I practiced the pinch method.
Oh. The pinch method? That's very unhealthy.
Well, it's either that or...
catching your hand.
No.
It's in your head. Oh, never mind, I'm sorry.
What?
I got distracted. The Beagle was on TV.
You got distracted by a dog on television?
Yes.
Chloe, have these taken out tomorrow. Take all 6 TVs out. Sell them. Give them to somebody. Take them to Black Eddie's house.
That's cruel.
Why?
He's blind.
Well... Tell him there's something else.
All right, I'm back on sex and young females.
But abstinence is absurd.
I totally agree that it doesn't work. It doesn't work. I just wonder what the process is. If they say we teach abstinence, is that a class? Is that a brochure? Is that a bat? We hit him in the head and go quit it? What's the process?
And if you don't address it, I was dating a chick in her 20s, and we were going to have sex. And I went, I'm out of condoms. Well, just pull out before. You really think that's foolproof?
A lot of people do.
Things happen as you're actually going through the act. You can still get pregnant. You would have thought I dropped an anvil on her head again.
Because nobody's ever told her that there's pre.
You can say pre-ejaculate.
I'd rather not.
We're trying to speak responsibly here.
Okay, pre-ejaculate.
Yeah.
And it has sperm in it.
And I told her, we're not going to do this. You're not on the pill. It was before my vasectomy.
This is news to her. Total news.
She was 26.
Wow. And when was this?
The 90s.
Okay.
I mean, why?
Just curious. It really, technically, it doesn't matter because you were obviously very responsible and knew what you were doing, whereas...
I went through it one time when I was 17. I thought I got the chick I was dating in high school pregnant, and from that point on...
Okay, then that's why.
There was no chance. I had some girl I took out a couple of times. Naked, ready to have sex. I go to the kitchen to get the condom. She said, where are you going? I told her. She goes, I don't like those. I'm all over them. Well, most of the guys I've been with don't like those or don't use them. Which is exactly why your insides are just like a petri dish.
You're selling me, baby.
I would rather go in there and stick my ween in the George Foreman. In fact, I'd rather screw George Foreman. She got pissed off. We're not going to do this with a condom. All right, then. Goodbye.
I had a girl tell me I'm allergic to latex. Well, that's what condoms are made of. I know, but I'm allergic to it. Well, I'm allergic to giving you a baby.
Well, and that's what she wanted. She wanted a kid.
I believe so.
Any of them that are going to put up any kind of fight about a condom, there's something else going on.
Boy, I had one too, man. She was so hot one time. We were doing the thing, and she was, I'm going to dance around this. Take it off and...
Finish.
Yeah.
Bareback.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I went, from then on...
Well, all you had to do was go... Another couple of seconds and I could help you out.
Just missed the moment. But that just scared me. I looked in her eyes and went, you want a baby? Holy crap. And I quit dating her like weeks later.
Well, you have a church that teaches that those are wrong. I mean, the Catholic Church says...
Condoms are wrong?
Any type of birth control is against church doctrine.
Well, that's why Catholics have the babies. Right? And that's why I think, aren't most Hispanics Catholic?
Yes.
That's why the Hispanic population is growing. And I don't know why you would... That doesn't make any sense. No birth control, and you give abstinence a chance. Don't tell them anything else. Now you've got somebody in their 20s thinking, I can have sex, and as long as he pulls out before he's done, there's no chance of me getting pregnant. You're a fool.
Yeah. Again, that goes back to education.
Line 3. We're doing, Chloe.
Breaking 5.
Yes, Melissa.
Yeah, I wanted to say that the abstinence programs that are in high schools now are federally funded.
Coming from the Bush administration.
Yeah. Well, we could say a lot about him. So, yeah, that if you teach abstinence, the school will get funding from the government, and if you don't teach it and you teach sexual education, they will give you no funding. And these schools have nothing, so they'll take whatever they can get.
Do you lose the funding if you teach both abstinence and sex ed?
Yes, you do lose the funding if you teach both. So they want abstinence only.
So there's no way. Well, I guess if you teach abstinence, you can still address the sex ed part. Here's what's going to happen if you have unprotected sex. You can get pregnant. So you can still cover the things that you need to.
Yeah, I mean, I've known plenty of people who are like, well, screw it. You know, they've been told in abstinence programs that, you know, condoms don't work, birth control doesn't work, and you're still going to get this and that. And they're like, well, you know, I might as well, you know, they'll go without using condoms and get pregnancy and STDs. And it's like, well, you know, they said it doesn't work, so why bother? And it's like, first off, I'm scared that so many children are so stupid nowadays. But, you know, second off, I mean, they don't have anybody to trust.
I don't know how that you take the small percentages of births that come from condoms that were defective and then these don't work. 99.whatever% of the time they do. And those are odds that anybody, you said that for the lottery, you wouldn't be able to get into a stop and go.
Exactly. And, you know, I'm from San Antonio, so talking about, you know, Catholic births and all that, I've been there. You know, 6th grade pregnant girls on their second kid, you know, I've been there. I've done that. And, you know, I've seen it. So, you know, they don't teach abstinence in San Antonio. They teach sex ed because they know they have to. Now, up here, I don't know what the heck's wrong with Dallas, but down there, even if it's Catholic, they still teach sex ed because they know they have to.
Well, at a certain point, reality is going to have to take over finances. Thanks, Melissa. And it doesn't make any sense. Why can't you teach both? Teach abstinence, and here's a way to protect yourself if you find yourself you're in a weak moment.
No. That's the wrong answer.
What?
Here's abstinence. What you should do. And here's
nature wants me to have sex. I know. That's why this is such a struggle, and that's why you're having to teach me abstinence, because nature wants me to do something else.
The way you can teach the other is you say, and this is the evil, bad things that happen to you if you don't do abstinence. And let them figure out, you know, the condom thing.
Why don't they just teach whacking?
Because it's... I don't know.
Is that morally wrong?
Well,
what do I care?
Biblically, yeah.
Well, what do you care?
It's still, if you want to teach abstinence, fine, but also tell me the joys of whacking.
I don't think you have to explain those to people. Most of them find out on their own, don't they? I know I did.
Well, some guys were talking about it one time. That's how I figured it out.
And they were saying what?
I think I was 12. Yeah, I think I was 12.
Older guys just going.
Yeah, and they were talking about, you know, blah, blah, blah. I went home and I tried that. And the very first time I tried it, I thought I was going to pass out. Because you just do it the first time.
Right.
I don't mean finish. I just mean the first motion. And then you curl up on the floor. And you think, there's no way I could ever do that again. All right? See what happens if I try it a lot.
Like all day one day.
That's why I used to sit in the bathtub and watch the black and white TV set and watch Hee Haw.
And you don't think your parents knew what you were doing?
No. Why would they know? I'm in there watching TV and I'm in there taking a bath. Vanilla Hutton.
How's that Hee Haw got so much water in it?
And because that was before VCRs, you had to time your stuff.
I remember the joy of a VCR. Pause. Perfect. Don't move.
Yeah. But if you're watching live TV, you got to be right on the money. Or you're going to blow to a solo by Grandpa Jones. I just masturbated to a banjo.
Salute.
We need a break? Is that a yes? All right. I just had a Roy Clark plate job.
Russ Martin Show.
Where'd you go?
To an electronics store.
Which one?
I don't want to say on the air. I don't want to bang anybody specifically.
What'd you go to get?
I went to get service on a unit that I purchased around Christmas.
What'd you get?
I don't want to say on the air. If I say it, it'll be very obvious where I went.
Oh, it's not. You can get, there's electronics stores, Best Buy, Circuit City, Fry's. What was it?
It was the iPod Touch I bought from you.
Oh. Yeah, that's going to be Apple. Actually, I think other people are selling the iTouch now.
Are they?
I think.
I was trying to get service.
Why do you need service? It's new.
It will see my home
Wi-Fi?
Yeah, but I can't link onto it. It asks for my password, and I put my password in. It says wrong password. Okay?
I had that problem. I forget how I figured it out, but I got past that.
I'll tell you, I figured it out. I went Saturday, and I got an appointment today, 4 days later, to see their genius. Except I found a buffoon. They have a table there of guys that just are really smart, and accidentally I sat down and immediately, my name was even up on the list on the screen. Next, J.D. Ryan. I went, that's me, I'm in. Some guy walks up, and apparently he's just a regular employee, didn't really know what he was doing and told me incorrectly. I went home, did what he said, and my whole system shut down.
Your entire Wi-Fi?
It just wouldn't see anything, because he told me to erase the passphrase
on your Wi-Fi system.
Yes,
you go to the router and you clear all this out,
and then you got 4 keys. Erase 3 of those, and then make up your own. And now nothing worked.
Are you sure you worked there?
No. Yes, I am actually. So I go back to the store and I sit down with the lady and I went, okay, I was here this morning at 10 o'clock.
Talk to Dana?
I don't know who I spoke to.
Oh.
I was here this morning, had an appointment.
Which one did you go to?
The one in South Lake.
Yeah. Dana's the one that knows everything.
Okay. May have been the guy I ended up talking to because he knew what he was talking about.
Dana's a chick.
Okay, then it was a guy.
All right.
And I just said, here's what I was told to do. Went down, and nothing talks to nothing, and nothing works anywhere. He goes, well, I don't know who said that to you. That fella right over there. I ain't ratting nobody out. But it's that one.
Did they say anything to him?
That may have later, I don't know. But the guy goes, well, did you put, instead of the password, it's real simple, put in the key.
The actual number, not the passphrase.
The first key. I said, I tried that. It doesn't work. He said, did you put the $sign in front of it? My head's going to explode. How would I know to put the $sign in front of it? He goes, is that a secret you guys keep among yourselves? You put the $sign in front of it.
There'd be no reason that you would want to go home, take your router for your Wi-Fi, and clear everything out of it, because everything else in your house isn't going to be able to get to Wi-Fi.
That's what he told me to do.
Why didn't you call? Why didn't you email me?
Actually, I did call my computer guy. He stopped me before I actually did all that. It was just funny to say I did it.
Oh, okay.
He stopped me halfway. He goes, "Stop! Whatever you're doing, quit." And he goes, I went back to the store. I'll go home tonight. Put the $sign in front of it. Put in the keyword, and we'll be fine.
So you haven't tried that yet?
Haven't been home. It was on the way to work.
Okay. What were you in the middle of?
Abstinence.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which one of those? One? All right. Yes, Dave.
Hey, we were talking about the school system and its policies of no sex education, you know.
Who's we?
Well, y'all were talking about it. I was listening.
Oh.
And laughing along. A lot of the problem with depending on the school
Just the way you curled your lip and went, Snoop.
Yeah, we were talking about it. But you guys never answered my questions.
I was speaking up here in the car.
I asked 3 or 4 times, and you guys just laughed like I'm not sitting here. Rude. I'm sorry, go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, that's the problem is parents are sending their children to school and expecting the school to rear their children. Parents need to step up and take some responsibility, maybe teach their children themselves.
Well, you can go back, but how many parents are actually going to tell their kids, I know you're going to have sex, here's what you're going to do. Either we're going to stick you on the pill, or you're going to use a condom, or a combination of both, because you can still get an STD with just with a pill. Parents don't want to have that conversation. They think it gives them permission. They think, I'm just going to tell the kid not to have sex, and I'll let ignorance take its course. And that's what happens.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. I've got 4 kids. I've got 2 daughters. I didn't want any grandchildren. So we had that conversation early.
Well, what age did you decide you were going to have that?
Actually, I didn't. I guess I was 19 when I had my first one.
Not you. What age are the kids that when you told them about
sex? They were 11 and 12 whenever we sat them down and said, you know.
And they understood that at 11 and 12?
Oh, yeah. They start learning early.
All right.
They'd already heard things from their friends.
And how did you address it with them? What actually did you tell them?
We sat them down and we said, you know, there are certain questions that are going to pop up. There are things that you're going to have questions about. First, come to us and ask us because, you know, we'll give you actual honest answers. We made it a point to always be straight with our children and say, you know.
How did you tell them about sex?
We sat down and, well, my wife sat down with the girls, I sat down with the boys, and we kind of went through the mechanics. And as they got older and had further questions, you know, situational questions, we would answer on a, you know.
How do you tell them about sex?
You sit down and say, you know, there's going to be times that you're gonna be out with a boy, you're going to want to have sex.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be there. Your mom's not going to be there.
I'll be a block away.
You know, and if you decide to have sex, we're not going to be there to say, no, don't. So you need to always have some protection with you.
All right, so that's what I was trying to get at. You talked to them about condoms.
We talked to them about condoms. We bought them condoms. The girls had to carry condoms with them in their purse anytime they went out.
Now, did you feel like you were giving them permission?
No, but I did feel like if they decided to have sex, they were going to have it no matter what I said.
Well, and that's going to be the problem with a parent is you got to decide, I want them to be safe. I don't want them to have AIDS. I don't want them to have any STD. But I don't also want to tell them, I know you're going to do it, so here's what happens.
That's a great debate right there.
But if I'm an educator, I don't have to give that kid permission. All I have to do is give them both sides. You really should abstain. If you're not, here's what you need to do. Otherwise, you could get this, you could die, or you could end up with kids.
Exactly.
And
why is that, as simplistic as that sounds, why is it nobody can do that?
Because nobody wants to go, they want to go one way or the other. Nobody wants to teach what you just said.
All right, thanks, Dave.
The one sentence you just said would cover both sides. But there's 2 very different factions. This is the one thing makes me crazy. The abstinence thing is absurd. It just has never worked and will never work. I don't care, again, if you fly over with leaflets. It's not going to work. The other side is, and I went through this with my kids. I see what I did is I did the speech real early. So I said, not going to happen today, or you better not, at 13. All right. That's the answer to your next question. Not going to happen today, probably not going to happen in the next few years. But when there will be a day when this will occur, and here's the functions, and here's what can happen. And
what will occur?
Sex. When sex will occur.
What did you tell them about?
I didn't go into the,
Something about erections?
I think they figured that out.
You watched Spartacus with them?
I figured at 13 they understood erections.
Well, I figured you watch Spartacus with them, then you decide which side of the conversation you're going to have with them.
No. But you just say, not today, not tomorrow, not next year, hopefully not for a very long time.
Okay, I got that part. What did you tell them? Why is it nobody will tell me what they told them? All I'm getting is, I told them one day, okay? What did you actually say when it came down to the sex part?
About the actual act?
Yes!
Nothing!
My parents gave me a book. It's called Where Do I Come From?
Wow, shut up! Why is it you tell me this entire story just to tell me you didn't tell them nothing?
I told them about safety, about having condoms.
What, wearing a traffic cone?
They know by 13 you put a penis in a... I'm waiting.
You can say condom. No. Traffic cone?
Vagina!
Oh. And?
They know that by 13.
But obviously not everybody knows all the ramifications. Some adults think you could pull out and still not get pregnant.
No, I did. That part I did say. I thought you were talking about the actual mechanics of it. No, I told them no.
So far you haven't told me anything. You just said one day this is going to happen and I'll address it then.
No, I never said that. I said what happens.
When you have an erection, come talk to Daddy.
No, it's going to happen. Use a condom because even things happen early on and you can get pregnant with one sperm. There's millions of them and it just takes
Don't say it.
What?
The thing you've been throwing at me for years. Don't.
What? Which one?
The one in.
I won't say it then.
Thanks.
But it's true.
Say it.
One in wins.
Thank you.
It just takes one. And I tried to explain that. There's millions and millions of them with each, ejaculation, and it just takes one. And they come out before.
So you told them about pre-ejaculate.
Exactly.
All right.
That was the biggest thing I think I wanted to get through to them, that they understood. You don't have to. The pull-out method doesn't work.
Anything else we need to cover with that?
No, I don't think so.
All right.
My dad showed me how to use a condom using a cucumber.
I feel creeped out.
I'm glad you ended the sentence with cucumber, though.
Believe me, so am I.
My dad was really cool.
Here's how you put it on. Hold on. Let me think of something. Stop talking. What is it, Ryan? Which line? 5? Were you going to say something, Trey?
I said, my dad was very cool because he said, I know you're going to be embarrassed about buying condoms at the store or whatnot. He goes, I don't want you to, but when you're going to, you can come to me. I'll buy them for you. I don't want you to get a girl pregnant. I don't want you to catch a disease.
Did you ever have him buy your condoms?
Yeah.
Did your dad buy you rubbers?
You pussy.
Yeah, I went to high school in a small town.
Give me some rubbers and some Kents.
Living in a small town, didn't have a car. I mean...
Then you have your dad take you to go buy your own condoms. Which line? Yeah, which line? All right. Yes, Patrick.
Hey, man, I heard y'all talking about this. My dad sat me down and showed me a porno. And afterwards he said, looks like fun, doesn't it? And I said, yeah. And then he explained the consequences of it and told me that if I got a girl pregnant, he was going to kill me, and gave me a box of condoms and said, now go have fun. I don't see what the problem is.
Which porno was it?
Oh, hell, I don't remember. It was 20 years ago.
Well, who was in it? How'd it end?
How do you think it ended?
All right, thanks.
All right, that's an odd one.
Yeah, and did he sit in the room while they watched the porn? Or you go, all right, well, I want you to watch this, and I'll be back.
It's an educational process. I'll be right here by your side.
Well, they have videos where you actually show people having sex, but it's not pornography, where it's a little more clinical.
It's kind of making me hot.
Yeah. Stop. Because they act like, we're not really having sex and we're not into each other.
No. Stop it.
Now, I'll have to do this many times before I could possibly get her pregnant.
We need to change the subject.
Sometimes to actually achieve the entire moment,
right?
You'll have to, as odd as it sounds, Sometimes you can get it in, sometimes you can't. Perhaps one time he'll poot.
That's when I ran away from home.
I'll go learn from the dogs. Dogs got it down, plus all their chicks got 8. That's some news, man. Sure. Right. That's probably the most clinical segment we've had.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's still people that think if you don't tell them anything and all you say is don't, there's no education in that process.
The kids,
you don't know the ramifications. You don't know anything else. You just know I'm not supposed to. And kids, regardless of the age, they're curious. They're going to want to know. You ain't going to tell me about it. I'm going to go find out.
I'm going to learn. I'm going to learn the hard way, unfortunately, most of the time.
Hey. What is line 3?
It's a really good analogy about why parents should teach their kids about sex.
All right. How we doing, Chloe? Go ahead, Kathy.
Hi. We put electrical lock socket cover.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Wow. You didn't let that go on far enough. I'm confused.
No, I know where she's going with this.
When they're little.
Hang on, back up. You use electrical sockets to do what?
We cover the electrical sockets because we tell them not to play with the electrical sockets, but they're going to do it anyways.
Right.
We don't want our 2-year-old lit up like a Christmas tree.
Got it.
Okay, well, tell them about condoms. If you have a girl, put her on birth control because you know what? She's going to try it. Do you want her to be pregnant? It's just that simple. We take
No, for whatever reason, we can't make it that simple. You've got the religious aspects of it that you have to deal with. You can't really deal with the Catholics said, I don't believe they believe in masturbation. You've got too many different angles coming at these kids. And the one thing that's pounding them in the head is nature. And if you don't give them everything that they need, as simplistic and as idiotic as this sounds, you don't give them everything that they need, they're going to have kids.
Well,
just to dance around it and pretend like it's not going to happen, even though nature is raging and their loins is in fuego, they're going to want to have sex.
Well, we baby-proof our house, baby-proof our kids. It's that simple.
I thought you were going to say you shove their weenies in the line sockets.
Well, you could do that.
No. It is what a vagina feels like.
You do what you want.
Now, you either do one of two things. You never stick your penis in one, or you wear something that's grounded. Our favorite grounding device is Trojan.
I can see the package now. Trojan, grounded.
Little picture already, kilowatt on it. You want to start again?
Sure.
Okay. Which part are you on, Chloe?
Just a warning. This is happening.
That's what it's going to feel like.
Since we can't really condone you having sex, we're going to have to create it as best as we can. Larry, plug it in. Now, to add realism to this, Daddy's glued some hair onto this. Now go ahead.
Oh, poor kid.
No, that's what it feels like.
Not this grounding device.
So how do you do it with the
Vaginas are electrified. I said it.
Oh, my God.
Still have time for news?
How do you tell the chicks?
What?
Tell the chicks.
The chicks can't get themselves pregnant. The guys are the stupid ones anyway. Just tell them vaginas are electrified. Either you want to get the piss shocked out of you, or you wear this thing. You want a break here? Then load one up. Stop looking for something that's applicable. Is that the bumper you want?
I was just shaking.
All right. All right, I get this one. All right, we'll be back.
We'll be back to the Russ Martin Show. It's an afternoon fraternity with a lot of hazing. The Russ Martin Show. Now, back to the Russ Martin Show.
Hi, Gail.
Hi there, Russ.
What do you have for us now?
Reliant Energy and some big old backups. Westbound 635 before Mars still have the HOV and 2 left lanes blocked and traffic backed up past Central. Eastbound traffic backed up past Simmons. In DeSoto, southbound 35 at Wintergreen. The 2 left lanes blocked now. 3 were blocked. That traffic is backed up to Wheatland Road. In Fort Worth on westbound 20 at McCart, the right lane's blocked. Traffic's heavy from Crowley Road. In Arlington, westbound I-30 before Collins, they just cleared a problem. It's unwinding from around 360. And in Plano, northbound 75 at Spring Creek Parkway, a wreck in the right lane with cars stacked up to around the Bush Turnpike. Now I'm Gail Lightfoot on the Russ Martin Show.
Thanks, Gail. 38 for the overnight low. Going to be in the 60s tomorrow. It's probably 63 for the highs. Cooling off now. 49 at Live 105.3.
All right, Dan. Okay. What else you got?
Well, jurors.
If a vagina is electrified,
oh dear God,
how do you explain to kids where babies come from?
That's how much Daddy loves you. So that's the sacrifice that Daddy made to have you. He had sex with Mama's electrified vagina.
Do you and Mom still use condoms?
No, at a certain age, Mama's vagina is no longer electrified. TXU will come out. Only about 50.
Ready kilowatt drives up.
And they'll cut her clam from the grid.
Nature quit paying the bills.
Oh, God. Have I covered everything else?
Absolutely.
All right.
Ready, guys? Somebody didn't just tune in.
All right, Dan. What are you writing down?
Oh, just different things that we need to remember.
Okay.
Life lessons.
You know they're not really electrified.
No, yeah, I know that.
Okay, good.
But I give you a hell of a lot of credit on the idea of telling your kids that they are.
If you're going to tell... If you don't want to tell them the truth, at least throw out there's monsters in there. Give them something. Don't just say you're not supposed to do this. You just can't. But because that doesn't give me any tools to handle it. Tell them monsters live in that thing. There's one that owns it.
Stop.
We're taking that movie Teeth that we were talking about that you said it ripped off your idea of having teeth in there.
In the vagina?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Show them that as a sex ed film?
Yeah.
I just like to say this is real.
This is a documentary.
Now you watch this. And this is all women. It's not just the Defile sisters.
We heard from them in a long time.
No, when was the last time? We were trying to set... Chloe was supposed to go on a fantasy date with them.
Yeah.
Then they vanished.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard from them. And
their phone quit working that we had because we had an active phone for them for a while.
No, I think that would come and go, and then we'd contact them through MySpace, and then sometimes through their dentist.
No.
All right, go ahead, Dan.
Okay. Jurors now know that Bobby Cutts Jr. killed his pregnant lover, and as soon as this afternoon, they'll begin deliberating over whether her
Was
death...
this the cop?
Yes.
Good.
Over whether her death was an accident or the result of a former cop's fit of rage.
She was strangled.
He says he hit her in the throat with the elbow.
The prosecution, and I think the coroner, said she was strangled.
Closing arguments are expected today, a day after Cut stunned the courtroom by sobbing through a surprise confession that he killed Jessie Davis with a blow to her throat on June 14th. Cutts told the jury that he swung his elbow at Davis during a confrontation in her bedroom when she refused to allow him to leave her home.
Do you want to hear any of this audio from the courtroom?
Yeah.
Cut number 23 is, he says she bit him on the finger. He's trying to leave. This is where this picks up. Trying to leave the house. She bit me on the finger, and then this is what.
I stepped back, and I looked at my finger, and I was like, you know what? I'm definitely leaving now. I don't care if you have to work or not. And I went to step around her, and she grabbed me and said I couldn't leave. And I pulled my arm from her.
Okay.
I pulled my arm, and I threw my elbow back.
Were you trying to get her arms off of you?
This finally leads up to him. What actually happened was he, according to him, he pulled back. His elbow, I guess, hits her right in the larynx.
Right. Yep.
And then she died.
Correct.
Okay. And after he called 911 and asked for help,
No.
he opted to go hide the body.
Yeah, Cutts who as
he didn't call anybody, he didn't do anything.
No, even
especially as a cop, you know, forensics are going to be able to come back and tear this apart.
He also says, I tried to call 911, but I couldn't figure out how to use her phone. Oh, shut up. You can't push 911 and send on any phone.
You can't go to a neighbor.
You had one in your truck. Oh, I didn't think of going to my truck. You thought of going to your truck when you drugged the body to it.
Yeah. Why not use the phone then?
It's just so full of.
And when I saw a brief snippet and they're asking him about why he used bleach.
Oh, the bleach on the carpet?
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a big blotch on the carpet that's been bleached.
I was trying to bring her around. She was passed out.
With bleach?
You use whatever you have. I didn't have any ammonia.
Go ahead with the story, Dan. Is there more audio?
I have two more cuts if you care. It's really bad audio since it's from a courtroom. The other one is 24 is what happened after you hit her.
What happened as a result of that?
She hit the ground.
How hard did she fall?
I'm going to venture a guess and say the defense is questioning him.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
She fell pretty hard.
Did you see her fall?
No, I didn't see her fall because
I know this is hard for you, especially now that you've been caught. But if you could work your way through this story.
Yes.
And remember what I told you.
When we rehearsed.
I continued to walk forward towards the door. But when I heard her fall, I turned around.
Okay. The next one is, why didn't you call 911?
Did you make a determination of whether or not she was alive or not?
She wasn't responding. I knew she was dead.
Had you come to the conclusion?
How do you know she's just not breathing?
Because he's a cop. I know she was dead. And the other story that came out of this is, okay, she was pregnant. Maybe she was dead.
But the baby wasn't.
The baby could have lived had you called 911.
Yeah, if you hit him in the throat, she's not going to immediately die. You're going to gasp for
Well, it might have been throat, then her head hit something, and then between that and ingesting all the bleach, that's probably going to kill her. Did he say how he explained the bleach?
No, did he?
Dan, do you have in the story?
Yeah, he just said that he thought that she was unconscious, so he searched for rubbing alcohol to use as a smelling salt to revive her.
There was a gallon of bleach on that carpet.
Hang on. When he couldn't find any rubbing alcohol, he said he retrieved a bleach container and tried that, knocking the container over and spilling bleach on the floor. She did not respond.
Okay. Bleach isn't something that you smell and
wake up.
You get some type of reaction from.
Not really. But if you don't have any, if you don't have anything, you're looking around, maybe. That could be a shadow of a doubt in a jury's mind. But not the whole...
Well, the other thing is, did she die from hitting the ground? Was it the jab to the throat? And was there any blood? Because the way this story sounds, there wasn't a lot of blood. No, so the reason for the bleach, okay, maybe that's valid.
Could be. Even then, you can't use a 911 and you can't run to your truck and use your phone to potentially save.
And then you go out with the search crew and try and help find her.
After you've hidden the body with a friend.
Yeah. I'm going to win this game.
God.
Is he eligible for the death penalty?
I don't know. I don't know how the baby comes into play with this.
I don't think so. I think the prosecutor said they were going for aggravated murder.
I don't think the death penalty they would ask for that then.
No. Plus, I think this is also in Ohio. I don't think they're a big death penalty state.
All right, go ahead.
Well, this side of Cincinnati, Ohio, millions of toys were recalled last year because they were putting children at risk for lead poisoning.
I read this story, and I don't know why anybody's surprised about it. In fact, I already figured it out and took all the dogs' toys away from them.
All of them.
Anything that might have any paint, lead on it. Go ahead, Dan.
Investigation of over a dozen different dog toys revealed that the toys people are letting their pets play with may be just as dangerous. Licensed lead assessor Cynthia McCarthy of the Cincinnati Health Department tested dog toys purchased at leading stores in the tri-state area, revealing 13 of 14 toys had some level of lead in them. Many of the problematic toys contain squeakers. Crap, that's my dogs. There's a small metal rod inside the squeaker which may contain lead, not something you can simply ignore when it comes to your canine. Every pet owner should be aware of lead poisoning symptoms, which include stomach and intestinal issues, such as vomiting, diarrhea, and abdominal pain that lead to neurological symptoms such as seizures.
I figured this out with human toys. If nobody's checking those, they're not going to check anything for animals.
Not at all. And I never even thought of that.
So anything that I had that was even borderline painted, threw it away.
Gone. Just with the raw toys in the
yeah, especially with animals, whatever you give them, they're going to chew on.
Well, it's gone.
Right. Kids don't necessarily chew on things. They'll ingest it or they'll lick it, which is obviously you can still get some of the lead in your system. But animals like to eat things.
Sure, that's all they do. That's why you give them a toy, to eat it.
I totally spaced that.
Why? I don't know how anybody could. Nobody's checking for humans. They're not going to check for animals.
Oh, you're right. It makes perfect sense. I don't give my dogs anything squeaky or anything like that. But I'd never even remotely thought about it.
All right. Good.
If there's a list of rules for committing burglary, the first one might be don't pass out in the home you're trying to burglarize.
Be a lot easier to shoot them.
They're passed out. Okay.
Joseph Williams Jr. didn't heed that rule early Sunday morning. Officers from Cincinnati said Williams, who was 45, was found unconscious inside an Erie Avenue home just after 2 a.m. Williams apparently overdosed on an unknown drug. He was transported to University Hospital for treatment. Charges against him are pending.
Still would have shot him.
Asleep?
Yes.
You would take a person who had no weapon.
Broke into my house?
No weapon.
Broke into my house?
Yes.
Did they say he didn't have a weapon?
No, but let's assume he didn't for a minute. He's
Why?
Passed out.
I'm not going to assume anything.
All right, he's laying face down on your carpet.
All right.
Not moving. You don't know if he's got a gun or not.
He could be playing possum.
You shoot someone who's passed out.
In my house?
Yes.
Middle of the night?
You don't know how he's in there. What if he just thought it was his house and broke in accidentally? Well, granted, your house is different because it's an alarm system, but obviously...
It doesn't make any difference.
Have to try to
my house in the middle of the night, I'm going to shoot you regardless of your malady.
If I'm passed out.
I don't care if you got mesothelioma. I'm going to pop your ass.
I'm serving no threat to you whatsoever.
I don't care if you got the brown toenails. You're dead.
I'm asleep. There's no threat to you at all. I bet you get popped on that.
Prove that he passed out before I shot him.
Before you killed him. You got a point.
Well, they'd be able to figure that out with the angle of the bullet on the couch.
Why?
And the toxicology
Well, I think they would know if he's laying down when you shot him.
Help him up.
That's what I was thinking. The best way out of that is you just prop him up, then you have to shoot him.
Yeah. You say there was a struggle. That explains all the fingerprints. You let him have it.
You shake him till he wakes up, came stand, and then shoot him.
Just kick him.
So I'm alone in the room.
In the house in the middle of the night. I don't care how you play this. I don't care what's wrong with him. I'm going to shoot him.
Well, again, I wouldn't. But I said I wouldn't do that to somebody that's alive and standing up.
You see a body lying on your floor. You turn the corner. It's the middle of the night. You put a bullet in it just for
grins
or safety.
Yeah.
How is that safety? He's
in the house. You don't know what he's doing. You don't know if he's actually on the floor looking for something. You don't know who else is in the house. He's going to eat it so I can go check the rest of the house.
Yes.
You broke into the house. You already knew the possible dangers of coming in. I'm there to oblige.
And it turns out he was just drunk and got in the wrong house. I'm saying, let's say it's somebody else's house besides yours without an alarm system. I got drunk. I kicked in the door. I'm passed out. I think you're going to eat this one. I think the cops arrest you. You go on.
And you're going to prove how he got into the wrong house.
There's going to be some kind of.
You can't have anybody testify you if you kill all the witnesses.
That sounds very macho to say. I just don't believe I'd do it. I wouldn't kill or somebody that was no threat to me. Absolutely no threat.
I don't know he's not a threat.
How do you know he's not? Yeah, how do you know he's not playing possum?
So you hold the gun and you go, all right, get up, and you call the police while you hold the gun on him. If he gets up, then he gets popped.
No. You got to explain too many things.
Like how you killed an innocent man.
How is he innocent? He broke in my freaking house.
You're not sure that he maybe just the wrong house. He's a drunk.
Alcohol got him then.
Alcohol kills. More proof.
Go ahead, Dan. This bit's dead.
It's a birthday bash with the pomp and guests befitting such a famous American. Abraham Lincoln's 199th birthday will be celebrated Tuesday at his birthplace near Hodgenville in central Kentucky. First Lady Laura Bush is scheduled to headline the VIP guest list, helping kick off a 2-year national celebration marking next year's bicentennial of Lincoln's birth.
Don't.
I remember his 21st birthday.
Imus and Gettysburg.
Yeah.
You remember his 21st birthday?
Yeah.
How was that?
My first radio job. We decided we were going to...
What?
Kick a few back. Beers, not people. I helped him with the proclamation thing. I said, man, what's his name?
Lincoln?
What was his first name?
Abraham.
Yeah. I went, hey, that's too long. He was also short. I'm the one that taught him that stovetop hat.
You did.
He looked tall. He looked like 5 foot.
Did you guys ever swap hats?
No, we never did that. Oh. That hat looked stupid. We got an old Denny's hat painted black. Every time I looked at a picture at him, the irony just killed me. Get it?
Yes. God. Whatever we have next, Dan, get to it. Oh, my God.
You're brilliant.
Just a matter of time, they get you.
Nobody got that.
Oh, God. Yeah, right.
The Dallas Stars tied the franchise record with their 7th consecutive win last night, beating Phoenix 2-1.
Oh, Lord.
Steve Ott, Russ's buddy, came up with a big even strength goal midway through the third period.
I got a call from Gavin last night. I just now remembered it. In fact, I think I can play it. No, he does cuss at the very end. Go ahead, Dan.
Okay. And Mike Madonna won it with a 5-on-3 power play goal with 3:12 remaining. They pushed their record to 35-20-5 and have 75 points, the second most in the NHL behind Detroit, who has 87.
Gavin, what were you wound up about last night?
Man, what a great game. So check this out. I show up late because of the show. They're down 1-0. I show up.
What time did you get there?
I got there about 6:55.
What part of the game is that? First period, second, middle of something?
Yeah, it was about 18 minutes, 2 minutes into the second period.
All right, go ahead. 3 periods?
Yeah.
All right.
So I show up, we're down 1-0, and I'm like, all right, it's cool. I sit in my seats. I stand up, I start cheering, and I swear it was like, they looked at each other and they said, he's here, let's go. Final score, 2-1 Stars.
At what point of the game did they pull ahead?
Third period. Steve Ott scored on a wicked slap shot. It was awesome. So we went nuts.
Did I ever play that message from Ott that he left me a couple of weeks ago?
Uh-uh.
You keep it close? Yep. They don't want you to go to these games.
Yeah, they do.
No,
See, that's the thing. That's the thing, and that's the message I was leaving you last night. Everyone's complaining, saying they're losing, don't show up. Where are the people calling now? They're winning it, and I'm showing up.
Hold on a second. All right.
Hey, Russ. Steve Ott calling here. Hey, man, thanks for having me on last week. Just want to call. I got an idea. When we get home from the road trip, I want to get you on the ice, man. I'll bring you out in the room, have you meet some of the guys, and then maybe grab a beer or something. I think that would be a lot of fun. One thing, though, please don't bring your friend there, Gavin. And also, if you could remind him to shut his mouth in the game, so that'd be great. I heard he's dropping the mittens when I'm fighting and stuff. Some weird stuff, man. What a girl. Anyway, let me know. Talk to you soon.
God. They don't want you there.
That Otter, he's crazy, man.
They want you to shut your mouth there.
No.
Don't drop your mittens.
What a girl.
No.
Is Ott one of their more visible players?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I like
he's
him.
having a career year.
Oh, he sounds like a lot of fun.
And what does he play?
Right now, he is left wing. He's on the line with Mike Modano and Yuri Lettinen.
All right.
He's playing great.
And he's having a record year?
Yeah. He is the guy that every other team hates because all he does is talk trash throughout the whole game.
Is he a big guy? I mean, like Craig Ludwig, biggish?
No, I wouldn't say Ludwig big. I'd say about 6'2". He's very strong.
Okay.
Great fighter.
They don't want you going to the game.
Yeah, man.
And also, if you could remind him to shut his mouth in the game, so that'd be great. I heard he's dropping the mittens when I'm fighting and stuff. Some weird stuff, man. What a girl. Anyway, let me know. Talk to you soon. Again, Steve Ott calling. Thanks, Russ. Bye.
We're totally going.
We what?
We're totally going.
Did you not listen to the voicemail?
No.
I don't understand what you're saying.
No,
we what?
You and I. That would be That would be the biggest insult if you didn't.
No, dude.
Me.
I won't be going to a game with you. Totally.
If you didn't bring me onto the ice and into the locker room.
No. As wicked as it sounds, you're not going with me.
No. If I showed up in that locker room, they'd be like, "Oh man, it's so great to see you."
There'll be no radical moment for you.
No, come on. That's not fair.
Mm-mm.
That's not fair. I deserve it.
What'd you just send me, Dan?
Oh, it's just Steve Ott's bio. He's
have a picture of him?
Yep. He is 6'193".
That'd be a lot of fun for you, though.
For me?
Yeah.
Now, I can't be on the ice during the game, right?
Right.
But during what?
They're probably pregame.
What do they call between the second and third period? Do they have
intermission?
They have that between each period?
Yes.
How long does that last?
20 minutes.
So I could go out there during that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When's their next home game, Gavin?
Their next home game is Sunday against Detroit.
Is that during the day?
Sellout, yeah, 2:30.
Oh.
Huge.
I may go to that.
That'd be very, very cool. You on the ice and Gavin watching you from the stands.
Who else wants to get on the ice?
No.
Oh, I'd love to.
No.
I'll go.
That'd be sweet.
No.
Shut.
Yeah. No one on the ice.
Ryan? Yes.
No.
Flo?
Of course.
Who's that board up in the other room?
No.
Is it, what's his name, Augie?
Alfie.
Yeah. Ask him if he wants to go.
All right.
No.
Then in the locker room after the game, go out and have a couple beers.
They get naked.
Hustle?
Huh?
Yes.
Really?
So?
Well, they have to take showers.
Yeah. Stop it. Otter.
This is...
Break?
Yes.
All right.
We'll be back to the Russ Martin Show. There's just no containing them. The Russ Martin Show. Now, back to the Russ Martin Show.
What is that?
That's something I found on the internet. It's called Rules of Engagement.
It's a marriage thing?
No, about shooting people.
Oh, let me see. How'd you find this?
It's just Googled when to shoot.
Is this real?
I think it's more just
opinion.
Funny.
Oh.
It's a Marine
USMC rules for gunfighting. Passed on my desk today. I found the rules to be a bit funny, but sadly enough to contain a grain of truth. You want to hear any of these?
Sure, I'd love to.
Has this been around the internet?
First time I've seen it. I mean, I always know that, because at the end of it, it kind of slams on Army, Navy, Air Force, which the different services do that.
Okay. Rules of engagement. Spit out my chalk. Number 1, bring a gun. Preferably bring at least 2 guns. Bring all your friends who have guns. Bring their friends who have guns. If you can, make friends of those on the crew. The crew served weapons. I don't get that one. Anything worth shooting is worth shooting twice. If your shooting stance is good, you're probably not moving fast enough or you're not using cover correctly. Move away from your attacker. Distance is your friend.
Okay.
And some of these are actually valid. Use a gun that works every time. All skill is in vain when an angel pisses in the flint rock of your musket.
That was deep.
Someday someone may kill you with your own gun, but they should have to beat you to death with it because it was empty.
Very good.
In combat, there are no rules. Always cheat, always win. The only unfair fight is the one you lose. Number 14, have a plan. 15, have a backup plan because the first one won't work. Don't drop your guard. The faster you finish the fight, the less shot you'll get.
All right.
Be courteous to everyone, friendly to no one. Do not attend a gunfight with a handgun where the caliber does not start with 4.
Okay.
All right. Then it goes on to the Army rules for gunfighting. Number 1, see USMC rules to gunfighting. Number 2, add 60 to 90 days. 3, hope the Marines already destroyed all the meaningful evidence. The Navy rules for gunfighting. Number 1, adopt an aggressive offshore posture. Number 2, send in the Marines. Number 3, drink coffee, eat donuts. Air Force rules for gunfighting. Number 1, kiss the wife goodbye. Number 2, drive to the base in your sports car. Number 3, fly to the target area, drop bombs, try not to hit the Canucks, fly back to your home.
That's what I like. I'm an Air Force.
Number 4 for Air Force rules. Okay. Barbecue some burgers, drink beer in your backyard, and talk S about the Navy, Army, and the Marines. Yeah, that's not bad. Only I don't like crap off the internet. Is that all of them? Was there any more?
No, that was it.
No. Okay. Very nice. Thank you.
That's perfect. That's why I want to be in the Air Force. I wanted to be at one point. My eyesight wasn't good enough.
Why'd you want to be in the Air Force?
Like everybody that loves airplanes, I wanted to fly jets.
But people are going to shoot at you.
It's okay. You can shoot back. And you're up in the air. I just thought it would be cool. I really did. I didn't have the eyesight for it.
What are you laughing at, Chloe?
Just laughing. Picturing JD getting all rattled inside of a F-16 or something.
I wouldn't be rattled. I'd be blasting in the skies.
You get rattled when I stick my fingers up in the air and do that.
That scares me, though.
Well, what if the gooks do it?
God, I never thought of that.
Dan, you got any more news?
Yeah,
my heart's racing.
You crashed your plane. Why? The crowds were ugly to me.
They were on the ground. 3 of them going.
Waiting on you, Dan.
Andy Pettit was excused yesterday from testifying against his friend Roger Clemens at a congressional hearing, but it appears Pettit already has done plenty of damage to Clemens' contention that he never used steroids or HGH. Representative Tom Davis, the ranking Republican on the Congressional Committee investigating steroid use in baseball, told Newsday that Pettit, in his deposition last week, backed up the account of Brian McNamee, the former trainer of Clemens and Pettit. McNamee has said Clemens used steroids and HGH. Davis told the newspaper...
Is there anything that can go back that's going to happen to Clemens if they actually prove he did roids?
If you perjured yourself to Congress...
okay, that's going to be the biggest thing that's going to come back on him. Not going to go back and affect his baseball career.
It could rob him of being in the Hall of Fame. And definitely, as going down as one of at least the top 3 pitchers of all time.
Again, they still don't really seem to have anything tangible. You got a couple of smoking syringes, and that's really about it.
Well, the Andy Pettitte thing is really the best thing they've got going for them as far as trying to, pin something on Clemens. Davis told the newspaper that Pettitte's testimony matches McNamee's in most details, but that Clemens, in his deposition last week, said both of them are mistaken. Pettitte did ask to be excused from tomorrow's congressional hearing so that he would not have to testify against Clemens, and the committee's leaders granted his request. He's basically going back and saying that Pettitte said, yeah, this is what happened.
Now, what would his motivation be?
Yeah, why is Pettitte now turning over on Clemens?
I guess because he's already admitted it, and under oath, he's just telling his side of it, and that's Clemens' best friend, so it doesn't bode well.
That's going to be the most damning.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Terrorists increasingly favor using women as suicide bombers to thwart security and draw attention to their causes. This according to a new FBI Department of Homeland Security assessment. The assessment said the agencies have no specific credible intelligence indicating that terrorist organizations intend to utilize female suicide bombers against targets in the homeland. But it points out that women have been reported as attackers in the Russian breakaway Republic of Chechnya and in India, Iraq, Pakistan, the Palestinian territories, Sri Lanka, and Turkey. The notice was distributed Monday to law enforcement officials throughout the U.S., and CNN obtained, of course, a copy of it. Officials want to make sure security officers are alert to the possibility of female bombers. Everyone always blames the parents when a kid gets in trouble with the law, but in Australia, they're taking it a step further and actually punishing the parents. In Australia, Northern Territory Chief Minister Paul Henderson just announced that the parents of kids who repeatedly break the law will be fined. It's all part of a plan to make parents more accountable for the actions of their children. Parents who refuse to take the necessary steps to control their kids can be fined as much as $2,000 and have non-essential household items like stereos and plasma TVs taken from their homes.
We should do that.
It's never going to happen here.
Why?
It's just not. You're going to go and take my TV because my kid acted up?
Yeah.
No.
We like to go back and hold manufacturers responsible for their products. You raised a nut, you raised a hoodlum, you raised a delinquent. You're going to eat it. You're going to be more apt to stay on your kid and make sure that you don't raise one of those if you know there's going to be some type of penalty.
There are times that kids just get out of control. You can raise 2 kids in the same household. One of them's an angel and does really, really well. Maybe not an angel, but does really, really well.
You can slow down.
The other one just spins off into the ozone. And as a parent, once they get to be 16, there's not a whole lot you can do about it.
Well, then at a certain age, you don't hold the parents responsible, but up until...
13?
Whatever. Until they can legally, what's the term, emancipate themselves from the family?
Yes.
Whatever that legal age is, you're going to be responsible.
I guess
some people have kids and they hope for the best.
Oh, absolutely.
They want me to raise them. They want television. They want video games, whatever. Anything that's going to keep you away from me.
Rap music.
I want that to raise you, and I want to make sure that everybody else assures me that it's been sanitized, so I don't raise a nut.
But again, there's so many variables to that. There are so many. It's like, okay, you got a single-parent household. Mom's out working. I can't watch him every second. He's a good kid. He just ran with the wrong crowd. Now, do we punish her? Do we take $2,000 out of our pocket? Or you got the other deal where you got a millionaire family and they got all the money in the world, and their kids run amok. Okay, I can sort of see, but you see all the gray area?
You stair-step it just like we do anything else for society.
So basically, you have a separate court set aside to decide which parents get the fine.
You're going to have a lot more, regardless of how we do it. Again, what they're doing, was it Australia?
Yes.
As fantastic as that sounds, we need something like that in place so parents just don't blame society for everything that their kid does. You raised it. What it's doing is because of your education.
Well, there is
and the environment that you raised him in. I'm going to hold you partially responsible for something.
There is a little bit of that going on.
Unless the kid has some type of mental defect, and then we put him down.
No, you don't put him down. But there is a little bit of that going on here. Anyway, if the kid is...
I know if they're truant, then the parent gets dragged into court.
Exactly. If the kid's truant for so many days... And I got close to getting called in, too, because Christopher, I was making sure he was going to school, driving him off in the morning, following him. I even went by a couple of times to make sure the car was in the parking lot. He was still scooting out with his buddies. His car was there. He wasn't. So I was doing everything I could do, and finally it got to the point, I can't remember how I found out. Maybe they even sent me a notice saying, one more, and you're going to get drug into truancy court. Stop the presses. What the hell are you talking about? I had no idea this was going on. And that's about the time everything exploded for him anyway, so.
Is that when he stopped going?
He stopped going to school completely, and I withdrew him. So that way he's not truant. And I don't get
And he was
trouble.
how old at that point?
Well, he was 17.
So you can yank him out at that age?
Yeah, he wanted to.
All right. Yes, Mike.
Hey, Russ, number one, first time, long time. It's nice to talk to you, but I'm with JD here. My gosh, they've taken all the response. The parents have they're not able to do anything with their kids. My girlfriend's boy done called the cops on her 3 times last year alone when her trying to make him do something. I mean, what do we do as parents?
Well, what's she doing to him?
He'll, for little things, she'll tell him, don't go out, don't leave the house, stay home, do your homework. F you, I'm leaving, and he leaves.
How old is he?
He's 13 years old.
And he's calling the cops?
He'll call, if she grabbed his arm and said, no, you're not going, he goes in his bedroom, gets on his cell phone, and calls 911, the cop shows up.
Why does he have a cell phone?
3 times. His daddy gave him that cell phone.
And what do the cops say when they show him?
He's showing him his arm where he grabbed. Of course, there's nothing on there, and but nothing has happened to her yet. But she's so scared to death that she'll go to jail or get a child endangerment on her or whatever. But what I'm saying is,
but the cops aren't hauling her off, so really she's got nothing to be afraid of. You can discipline your kids. It's to the point where it becomes torture. Then the cops or CPS are going to intercede. But just slapping a kid on the ass or grabbing them and saying, no, you're not, that's what you do as a parent.
Okay, so here up.
The answer is going to be yes.
No, well, okay.
Thanks,
I've got let's say I have a 15-year-old.
Okay.
Add it up a little bit.
All right.
Chris is now my height and outweighs me.
All right.
15, 16 years old, okay? I'm going to go over to my friend's house. No, you're not. Or actually, I can tell you a real life situation.
All right.
That I almost killed his mother over.
All right.
He was going to go on this band trip. It was a drum corps thing.
All right.
Out of the country. His mom gave him the money. Okay. So I'm going tomorrow.
You bring the flask with you?
Yes.
Okay. Where is it?
It's in the office.
Where am I?
I thought you were quitting drinking.
Only from time to time. Your story's going to take forever, and I'll figure out time.
I'll stop. I'd try to kill her.
How?
No. She got mad at me because he got on.
No backtracking.
No. She got upset with me because he got on the bus and got away and got into trouble. And I said,
she's the one that gave him the money.
I'm aware of this. Thank you very much. And then I said, basically,
well, don't get pissy with me.
I'm just saying, because I'm getting pissed off again.
Well, how did she hold you responsible if she gave him the cash to go?
Because she backtracked after she gave him the money. And then she says, you know what? I don't want him to go. Don't let him go. I said, I'll tell him all day. What would you like me to do? He's 15 years old. He outweighs me and he's as tall as I am. Do I shackle him? Do I knock him out? Do I sit here and hold him on the ground all day long? No. He's going to get up and he's going to go do what he wants to do. And whatever happens outside that door happens. I wouldn't have let him go. That's when I tried to crawl through the phone line. Oh. You wouldn't have let him go. What exactly? Play this out.
Well, okay, hold on. Here's the problem. It didn't start at 15. He ramped up to this.
Exactly.
And because your family was disenfranchised, he was allowed... That was allowed to grow.
It was allowed to occur when he was living with her.
This didn't start at 15. This was everything he was exposed to leading up to that point. Somebody should have slapped him around when he was 10.
Again, that dynamic was a whole different deal. He was living there with her, and things were allowed to happen. And then now it's my fault. Basically, the plane's on fire and flaming and 15 feet off the ground. Hey, go here to the controls. Take over.
Slap him around at 15?
You can't.
Why?
You can't just slap him around.
You can discipline your children.
There's a difference in discipline. Okay, what is it? What is a slap on the ass going to do to a 15-year-old? He's going to laugh at you.
I didn't say slap him on the ass.
Slap him where?
Head.
That's assault.
No, it's not.
It most certainly is.
That's why you instill the fear of God when they're younger.
Well, I wasn't around.
You were around up until a certain age. How old?
7.
Knock him out then.
I know you're going to California with your mom, but pow. That's just in case you come back. No. My point is, at some point...
Knock him out with a bat, rub pine tar on his head, tell him you were having practice.
They will do what they're going to do. And it really is out of a parent's control at some point.
Okay,
that didn't
all right,
start
stop.
there.
Whose control is it? Whose responsibility is it? If it's not the parents, who's going to take control? Who's going to take ultimate responsibility for whatever the hell this kid is doing?
At a certain age, the child has to.
No, it's not the child. That's why they're still called a child.
It's at a certain age. You're right, but they are where they are.
You lock them up someplace. You send them to some type of scared straight, whatever.
I thought about
Lock
that.
them up someplace and let that take its course. Pay somebody who won't let them loose. If you can't do the dirty crap, there are people that will.
I considered that, actually. An intervention.
So there are options.
It's just not as easy as...
I just don't like the fact of, I had this kid, I can't control him, I can't do anything with it, I'm not going to take responsibility. It's your freaking kid. Don't have it, let it run around in society and expect us to deal with it, because that's what's happening.
Well, that's what's happening in a lot of cases, but my point is this, as far as a law goes, is way too broad. You can't just say, your kid ran amok, here's $2,000, give us $2,000.
If you know that this is coming as you're raising the kid, then possibly your parental skills will be a little bit better.
Possibly. And again, you go back to two kids that are raised in the same family 2 years apart. One's perfect, and the other one is just a hellion.
Then you lock them up.
It's easy. That's real easy to say without kids.
That's going to be in their best interest in the long run. So either you're thinking short term or long term. What would have been better? Send them to one of these military... Something to Gitmo.
Those camps, by the way, they're very, very, very expensive.
All right. What's your kid worth?
Well, if you don't have the $10,000, it doesn't matter what it's worth.
Take a loan.
It's just not that simple.
Then you let him go through turmoil for the next 5 or 6 years until he pulls his head out.
Which he did. It wasn't 5 or 6 years. It was about 10.
You said it was 21 before he really started to get a handle on things.
He did pretty well by time 18. He came back.
I'm sorry. I'm just going with what you've told me. Maybe I misunderstood.
16 to 18.
You probably just lied to me.
16 to 18, he was fine. At 18, he came back. He graduated actually almost on time in high school. Got a job.
Is this all the whiskey you got?
Yeah. That's a lot.
What do you care?
No. I mean, this is all he's got.
We need a break. Anything else you want me to help straighten you out with? Yeah, you need to hold the parents responsible. You don't get to a certain point and just go, I can't do anything. You better figure out a way, because it's still your child. Until 18 or 17, whenever they're no longer your responsibility, you need to figure out something. I don't care what it is. Don't leave society responsible for your kid.
Well, I certainly didn't, but some people do. You're right. A lot of people.
And if it means taking away your zenith, it's gone.
That ain't going to happen.
Break? Yes. All right.
We'll be back to the Russ Martin Show. Format doesn't matter. Talk, country, rock, Hispanic, even boogity. He's numero one over them all. The Russ Martin Show. Now, back to the Russ Martin Show.
We read that email I got earlier that said Internal Revenue Service and about my,
let me see that again.
Tax notification. Here's that.
Thanks. And this guy's giving you the heads up?
Yeah.
Well, hang on. Let me read this again.
My buddy.
Which email account did this come to? Was it your Hotmail?
Hotmail account, yeah. Why did the IRS would Hotmail me?
Internal Revenue Service, United States Department of the Treasury. After the last annual calculations of your fiscal activity, we've determined that you're eligible to receive a tax refund of $184.80. Please submit the tax refund request and allow us 6 to 9 days in order to process it. A refund can be delayed for a variety of reasons. For example, submitting invalid records or applying after the deadline. To access this form, click on this link below. Regards, Internal Revenue Service.
You just click on the link, and that's what you get. One page.
They want your Social Security number. They want your credit card. Name on the card, issuing bank, card number, expiration date, CVV code, and your ATM card PIN. They also want your date of birth, address, city, zip code, phone number, email address, so you can get your $184.
Yes. Can't wait.
And the email say what?
My buddy Mark Roberts emailed me, JD, hate to be the bringer of bad news, but the email you received from the IRS refund is bogus. I received the same email about a month ago, and I called the IRS on it. He spent time calling the IRS. Mm-hmm. I was informed that the IRS never sends out emails to taxpayers about refunds or anything else for that matter. They will only notify you by U.S. mail. Thank you, Mark.
And the fact that he called tells me that somebody's going to buy this. If you do a mass email, and I don't care if you send out 5 million of them, if you get 100 people that go back and fill this out, that's 100 bank accounts you can go back and clean out, or identities that can be stolen, or whatever.
People like your mom.
Yeah, my mom would do this. If this came in the email, she'd click on this.
It's got the IRS thing on top of it.
Yeah, it's got the logo. It's got return address, service at irs.gd.gov.
Just
all you got to do is see .gov, and you're going to assume that it's real. Forget the fact that at the very end of it, they're asking, do you Yahoo?
So thank you, Mark. We do know that it's bogus.
And at the very end of this, it says, note, for security reasons, we recommend that you close your browser after you've finished the refund process. That way no one can access your records.
It's got a little thing at the bottom, privacy policy and everything else. It looks real.
Yeah. Not to mention, how would the IRS get your email address?
Well, especially the Hotmail.
Yeah.
It's the government. They know everything.
When would they ask me if I Yahoo? I believe I've told you enough. All right. Anything else before we go?
That was my last shot over the bow.
Anybody else want to ride in the Starsky and Hutch car before I leave tonight?
I would.
I already have, but I will again.
Isn't it amazing how quiet it is?
That is, it really is for
75.
That is really amazing. Well, also, he may have done some soundproofing because that interior is showroom new. So pretty. I bet he did some soundproofing. But there's no rattles, there's no wisp, there's no air noise.
The car's in better shape than the General Lee, and I've had that for 8 months working on it.
The thing is just pristine.
Doesn't really have any power, though.
Have you decided what engine you're going to go with?
Leave the one that's in there is perfect.
No, it's not. I stomped on it. You saw it had no power.
You've got cars that have power. This is for looks. It's a TV car.
What is that, a 351 Windsor?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. That's the engine.
No.
Well, it's the original.
Doesn't make any difference. Nobody ever asked what's under the hood.
Everybody asks. They want an original.
First, you got to figure out Chevy or Ford.
Stop it.
Well, you still have Dodge.
Oh, Dodge, too.
Oh, just
sure, they each have their own merits.
You go foreign, Toyota.
That's true.
So Trey would know.
JD Ryan 1053 at hotmail.com.
I know your number.
Could put a rotary engine in it.
No, Jesus.
Who had rotaries? Was that Mazda?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why is there a sewing machine in that car?
I like the rotary engines. Piston engine's too loud. Rotary goes. Was that the spots?
Yes.
Dan, you lost?
Yeah.
Mazda.
No, I'm kidding. No, I know the rotary engine thing.
Really?
Actually, I want to say that they still have them, at least in the Miata, their RX-8. Hell, my Mazda 3 may have one. Hey, you want to trade?
For what?
You can take my Mazda and I'll take your Ford Windsor.
Shut. Oh, the damn cigarette lighter doesn't work in the Torino.
Oh, well, send it back.
Crush it.
What the hell? So what? It's probably a fuse.
I can't plug in the teardrop police light.
You can't run the teardrop police light.
I can't.
You're not a cop. That's a red light.
What is that?
Don't show me your little, what is this little ID here? It says, Brazos Point, which we're not in. Fire department. Russ Martin, a member in good standing as of 11/01/06 and holds the rank of firefighter.
That allows you to have emergency light.
It does not.
Dan?
Absolutely it does.
That's a plastic card, and you're not a firefighter. You've been through no training. None.
It's signed by Chief...
Yes, Chief? Don't look at it. Chief who? Who's your chief? You should know. This is very important.
Hold on.
Yes.
Howard.
Is that correct?
Do you know?
Of course not. Give it a call.
Then it's Howard. What is it?
It's Howard.
Well, we'll be happy that you know who your chief is. You've never even been to Brazos Point. Where's Brazos Point? What highway is it on?
Do you know?
No.
27. Did Chuck tell you guys he saw me walking up Highway 26 to meet him to go get the Torino today?
No. Why are you out walking up the highway?
I got tired of waiting on him.
Oh, my God.
He had to come pick me up so we could drive out to Dependable to pick up the Torino. I'm sitting at the house, and I couldn't stand it.
Couldn't wait any longer.
So I just left the house, and he picked me up on 26.
That I believe. I know you're excited about it.
All right.
It's very cool car.
All right, Dan. Sorry, guys.
No problem. All right. For more information about the Russ Martin Show, including pictures, videos, and more, go to russmartin.com. To answer any question you may have about the show, go to russmartin.info. To instant email the show and only during the show, send that to studio@russmartin.com. Other show websites, johndavidryan.com, danantasos.com, djclo.com, treytrenholm.com, and for Chuck on the keyboards, chuckweek.com. The official caterer of the Russ Martin Show is Sugar Babies Barbecue. Their website, sugarbabiesbbq.com. Limo services provided by Limo George. His website, limogeorge.com. Russ gets his guitars and band equipment from the Guitar Center. Their website, guitarcenter.com. The official liquor store of the Russ Martin Show is Majestic Fine Wine and Spirits. Their website, majesticliquors.com. The official photographer of their show is Jim March. His website, jimmarch.com. And the official site for Live 105.3 is live1053.com.
Add that to the plugs. It's official shipper.
The official shipper, I'm glad I spit that out correctly, of the Russ Martin Show is Dependable Auto Shipper.
Why is this in the plugs?
Again, the official car shipper of the Russ Martin Show, Dependable Auto Shipper.
Did you get this for free?
Now.
You can now listen to the Russ Martin Show anytime you want on the web at russmartin.info. Russ Martin Show.